The season, not officially, but the season, the 2024 New York Jets season is upon us. We're not talking about the draft. We're not talking about training camp. We're not talking about scrimmages. We watched a game today. Sure, it doesn't count, but we watched a goddamn game today. The Jets and the Redskins, first preseason game of the season. Go Jets, fight. That's right, in the Jets chat. Jets. We watched a Jets game today, folks. I am so excited. I am so happy. Of course, whatever I'm playing in the background here has a bunch of ads. That's fantastic. Love that. But anyway, we're here to talk about it. We are here to talk about what we saw today in the New York Jets taking on the Washington Commanders game from MetLife Stadium. If you were at the stadium today, I hope later today you'll give me a call. If not, we will be opening up phone lines a little later in the show for all of you guys to call in and give me your thoughts on the game. I have not yet been able to watch other Jets content creators' reactions to the game, but I do have an idea of what they thought due to some of their posts on Twitter. So basically, I don't think I'm going to be, from what I saw on Twitter, I don't think I'm going to be as necessarily positive as most of them, but I'm not going to be negative about it. I do think people got a little bit ahead of themselves, and I'll talk about that, but there were a lot of people who shined today in the Jets-Redskins game. And a lot of guys who impressed me. Now, I had a lot of problems earlier getting the game. And if you want to see me freak the F out, I put out a video. It's about 6 minutes long. It's on this channel. Please, when you're done here or you want to take a break from here, go check it out, come back. Please do me a favor and get the likes up on that video. And while you're here, please hit that like button. The more you hit that like button, the more people see that we are live, and this is a hard time to roll on a Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I depend on all of you guys and all your help hitting that like button. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate that. I'm live every Saturday night at 9 p.m. and every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. right after Talking Jets gets off the air. And speaking of Talking Jets, I was on with Green Bean today. He does the play-by-play coverage of the games, and I was on with him in the first quarter, and he was having the same problem. He's in the Commanders Washington market, and I'm telling you, I will give you a brief synopsis without getting riled up, because I got so riled up earlier today that the video will show that curses are flying, not safe for children. But I do want you guys to check out that video and promote it and whatnot. But I think the NFL has completely screwed fans in certain markets. I live on the Long Island Sound of Connecticut, about an hour, maybe a little less outside of New York City, much further to Boston. But for some reason, I'm not in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut metro area, and I'm technically in what is the Hartford area. And the Hartford CBS affiliate decided not to play the game. Okay, so that to me says, well, then you're not in the market. So you should be able to get it on NFL Plus. No, according to NFL Plus, I'm still in the fucking New York. God, I'm getting pumped up again. I'm still in the New York, New Jersey market. I checked out the Sunday Ticket, blacked out. Then on Twitter, I saw the Jets saying something about, it's available on CBS. It's not. or Paramount Plus. I have Paramount Plus. I pay for that. Go to there, click on it. Because of your regional restrictions, you can't. I want you to go watch the video because I'm not going to get any more into this. The NFL screws certain people out of games. It is impossible in my section of Connecticut to watch the Jets if the Hartford affiliate does not cover the Jets. I have to listen to the game or watch it on replay, which I ended up doing. I ended up watching it on replay. So I saw the game, I took a bunch of notes, and I'll explain how I take notes during a game. And I want to talk about that. All right, guys, hit those thumbs up. Watch the video. That's what I'm asking for tonight. Super chats and gifted memberships or memberships to the Midnight Mafia, memberships to this channel are greatly appreciated. And, I completely thank you so much. If you send in a super chat tonight, and of course you'll get all the thanks and whatnot when they come up and I start, gushing over you. But if you definitely want your comments seen or whatever, please send in the super chat, support the channel. Join as a member of the Midnight Mafia. Just below it says join. It's less than a cup of coffee. Boom. You have access to a bunch of stuff. It's great. Anyway, let's get to this. Let's bring in my co-host tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, you love him. I love him. His name is Maddie. What's up, Maddie?
What's up, homies? Don't be mad that I've been
tonight?
chatting with babes online all day. Couple super chats you better get to before I say anything.
No way. Already?
2 of them.
Oh, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I'm going over right now. I'll head over right now to get to those super chats. John. All right. Whoop, hold on. I'm having a little problem with my screen here. Let me fix this.
2 at 5 apiece. What's up,
really?
Nate? What's up, Nick?
That is awesome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first super chat of the night. Jets. John Radcliffe comes in with $5. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Like these super chats and channel memberships and gifted channel memberships have been building over the past few weeks. And it is, I say appreciate so much. I'll look at my thesaurus for more adjectives, but I can't explain to you guys how much that means to me. It just shows that this community is growing and the Midnight Mafia and all that shit is growing. And John says, what's up, Mike? Finally got a weekend off. Go Jets. Bring on that sweet 6-11 record. I don't know how I feel about that. 6-11. What do you think, Maddie?
I think that that chat wasn't worth the $5.
I'll just say this.
What's gonna suck is if God forbid he's right, we're all gonna have to just be like, fuck.
No, here's the thing though. If he's right, I get more views on my channel. My viewers, if you look at my videos, are astronomically different. When the Jets win and I put out a reaction video, it could be anywhere from 500 to 2,000 views from last season. I'm going by last season. The Jets lose, it could be anywhere from 10 to 20,000 views. So it's like, what do I want? Do I want my Jets to win and get the thing that I've wanted my whole life? Or do I want to pump up the channel and get more views? Answer, I want the Jets to win. So, that comes secondary to that. And we're going to get to his next super chat. I just want to go back and I didn't get to the comments yet. So I'm just going to go through and see who's in here. Stack, of course, is in here, always the first person, along with Scott. Thank you guys so much. Both of them channel members, both of them members of the Midnight Mafia. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Nate, of course, came in here. And what was cool about Nate is Jake Asman had a meetup in East Hanover, New Jersey, literally where I grew up. And Nate was the one who drove him there. Or drove him back, one or the other. So he just got to sit in the car and shoot the shit with Jake Asman for, 2 hours. And that's pretty cool. Big.
That is.
No, I don't need. No, I know who Jake Asman is, obviously. Actually, I've been talking with him and he's going to be on the show, but Saturday nights are super hard for him. And that's when I like to have my guests on because that's the show that's free for everybody. When it goes on replay, it's free. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record an interview with Jake or a conversation with Jake. And then I'm either going to release it as a regular video or I'll find a way to plug it in here. We will find out. But Nate is in here, channel member. Valerie, I thought of this. Last week. Thank you, Valerie. That rant is available on this channel, but it's under the regular videos as opposed to the live. So check that out, folks. Give it a thumbs up. Give this video a thumbs up, all that stuff. But last week when I was saying, hey, guys, let's give some channel memberships and get Valerie a channel membership, because it's from what I'm to understand, those gifted channel memberships are based off of algorithms. And so she's always in here. She's always talking. Valerie, have you turned on? I thought of this after the show last week. Have you turned on accept gifted memberships? Because I find it hard to believe that some of these people are getting these channel memberships and you're not. You go down right next to the comments, and this goes for anyone else if you want to get gifted channel memberships, and there's a little dollar symbol, and that's where you go to super chat or to join the channel or to gift channel memberships. If you go in there and go to gifted channel, it says accept gifted channel memberships. Make sure that is on for anyone who wants to be gifted channel memberships when they come up, because if that's not on, you're not going to get it. So that's why I think maybe Valerie did not get it, Maddie. That's what I'm thinking.
Super fan, infrared, Scott, Clancy, all you guys, good to see you.
Yeah, Zachary, channel member in here. He's saying the UFL guard played great and should be on the 53-man roster. And how about? I mean, we'll get into it. But Martinez, the UFL MVP, had a great fourth quarter, and we will talk about all that. But yeah, Scott's in here. Stack's still in here. Monique, what's up, buddy? Ted is in here. Ted, little getting positive. Yeah, we got to pump it up, guys. I know it's preseason, but they're 1-0. Yeah, you can't be upset about a loss.
I will say this though: they need to lose one preseason
game. Commanders, not Redskins no more. Zach, I'm 40 plus years old.
Wrong audience, dude.
I've been a Jets fan for 40 years. They're the Redskins to me. So if I most of the time when I'm not thinking about it, I'm gonna say Redskins. Yeah. If I'm thinking about it, then I'll probably say Commanders because I just want to be accurate to the team name. But most of the time,
those of us that are as old as we are, they're the Redskins. They've been the Redskins their whole lives.
Yep. Hail to the Redskins, right? The New York Jets super fan in here. Awesome. What's up, Mike? Jets. Jerome is in here. Welcome back, Jerome. Happy Saturday, everyone. I'm gonna have to take a drink. Monique Infrared. All right. And then there's that super chat moving down. 3 Siblings is in here. What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. And John Radcliffe with his second super chat. So he, of course, will get the Jets chant. Jets. Thank you so much, John. Coming in with $5. Says, I live in Windsor, Connecticut. That's the Hartford market. The Sound is over an hour away. I live right on the Sound, and I'm still technically in the Hartford market, which is so disappointing to me because I would consider myself a suburb of New York. I know if you are in Manhattan and you count the time it takes to get through the Lincoln Tunnel or over the GWB and into New Jersey, I mean, that's already 20 minutes right there. Simple. And then drive another 40 minutes. My dad lives about 40 minutes. My mom lives a lot closer. Where I grew up's a lot closer. But my dad is in the New York market. So why aren't I in Connecticut the same distance away in the fucking New York market so that I can get these games? It's ridiculous. Once again, please watch my video. Please watch my video. John, I really appreciate it. We got to meet up for sometime, John. We got to meet in the middle, maybe meet at a Hartford Yard Goats game or something like that. I'll buy you a beer for all the help and the super chats and all that stuff. I really do appreciate that. Yeah, Nate and Infrared and Monique and more comments. Okay. Who am I missing in here? Clancy's in here. Wild Wave is in here. Still Daniel Murphy. What's up, man? Dano boy. Daniel Murphy's in here.
You still got one more super chat.
Hell, goddamn, yeah. John, you are blowing everybody out of the water tonight. Jets. John Radcliffe comes in with $2, and he says, if I'm right, I'll be miserable too. And I'm assuming he's talking about being in this shitty Hartford market. My problem, Maddie.
No, he's talking about the record.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Tell me this, Maddie.
Yo,
why do they show the Patriots games? Okay, fine, they show the Patriots games. Okay, but they'll show the Giants games. But then when they don't show the Jets game. Instead, they were showing infomercials, Maddie.
Because the Jets and the Patriots are AFC East rivals, and because you're in the Patriots market, they're not going to show the Jets. versus.
I mean, during a regular,
no.
But during the regular season, if the Patriots aren't on that time, they play the Jets every time.
I'm telling you, because they'll show the Giants because they assume it's a Patriots market and nobody wants to watch the Jets, and they'll watch the Giants because they hate the Jets. It is what it is, dude. But it's basically just kind of a slight because you're in Patriots land, and they're not gonna show a Jets preseason game because they think that no one will care. I mean, honestly, would you watch a Patriots preseason game?
I did watch a little bit of the Patriots preseason.
A little bit, but would you watch the whole thing?
No, but it's just because I didn't.
What I'm saying is you wouldn't.
I was out there. I was just out there watching.
What I'm saying is you wouldn't take the time to do it. That's the mindset. The mindset is it's just same with the Bills. The Bills aren't going to show a Jets preseason game on a Saturday morning.
Well, I was actually. There was a comment below the video that I made, which guys, please go pump that video up. Where a guy came in and said, I have the same problem. I'm in upstate New York, and I get blacked out because of the Bills. So, but once again, at least the Bills are a New York team. So you could, I get it. Connecticut doesn't have a team. I am closer to New York by many minutes.
You're stuck in the Patriots market, dude.
Bullshit. Missed this
Ricky,
one.
What's up, buddy?
Jets. Stack channel member coming through, gifting a Midnight Mike Show, Midnight Mafia channel membership. Thank you so much. Let's hope we can get Valerie one of those tonight. I don't know who got it. If someone wants to try to let Maddie know or whatever, I'm having a hard time with the comments. You got the thing. I got my thing over here, whatever. But I will eventually find that, and I will update the scroll on the bottom of the screen by our next show. And then, of course, John came in, and then John coming in with another super chat. Holy shit tonight. Jets. John comes in, $2, says August 17th, CO Appreciation Night at the Yard Goats. Now, is that correction, officer?
I have no idea what that is. I mean, that's what I think, but.
Well, I'll tell you this. I will 100% be at the Yard Goats' first ever playoff game. Already got tickets, got them the second they went on sale. So that is that. All right, now before let's get into this. I'm sorry, guys. I will check the comments. If Maddie sees something imperative, obviously super chats will go through. But if he sees something, he'll let me know. But I want to talk about this preseason game. There was Maddie, did you watch the game?
Oddly enough, I couldn't get it out here. I have Paramount Plus too, and it wasn't an option. Apparently games 2 and 3 will be on Paramount Plus, so I can get them that. But no, what I did is basically watched it. No, dude, I don't make enough money to have all these streaming services. But I did watch basically the whole game in like 2 to 3 minute chunks throughout. Saw the highlights. Liked what I saw. I mean, it's just preseason. I just can't get too wound up. Tittman didn't seem to do anything too dumb. Braylon looked good. And Martinez looked good too. I mean, shit. I saw a lot of positives, honestly. I really did.
Well, let me go through what I wrote down. You tell me if you agree or disagree. So this is how I rate how I watch a game. If there's something big, I'll write it down as its own thing. If then as players start impressing me or really sucking, I'll write their name down and they'll get a plus or a minus.
That makes sense.
Now, if they really do something that impresses me, I give them 2 pluses. Now, if let's say Tittman would have snapped it over someone's head, I would have given him 2 minuses.
Giant minus, yeah.
Yeah. By the end, I then count out how many they are above or below. And I had, and here's the positive. I didn't have anybody in a negative.
No, I don't think anyone stood out as playing poorly at all. I mean, again, I didn't see some of the more mundane plays because nobody put them up, but I got to find somewhere that replays the preseason games. But I think that
NFL Plus does. Now you are way out of market, and it's $6.99 a month, less if you pay for the year, but. You would not only be able to get the game live on NFL Plus, but I had to get the replay. I had to join NFL Plus Premium, to be able to watch the replay of the game. So that's what I ended up doing for this.
Yeah, I'm not getting NFL Plus just to watch 2 more preseason games that are supposed to be on Paramount Plus.
Well, no, you'll also get them on regular season. You'll get all the regular season games live.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. You are out of market. I have NFL Plus. I have NFL Plus, and I can literally watch any team in the NFL live every week, except for the Jets, Giants, and Patriots.
Let me use your login then, rich man.
I'm not a rich man. The way we do it is with all our streaming services is my brother-in-law gets a few, my mother-in-law and father-in-law get a few.
Yeah, we have a system out here too.
Yep.
Yeah,
and then you just kind of just start sharing them around.
It's a very delicate ecosystem, and yeah, no, I'm with you. That's what we do out here. We have some buddies, and we all do our thing.
Oh,
what I don't understand. Oh yeah,
you get a shout out from our Dolphins fans. Yeah,
I always shout you guys out. I shouted you guys out on a couple other shows too. I was like, man, we need the boys in here to stir shit up.
Blacked out Sunday ticket.
Get it. Like, how does NFL Plus show all these out of market games without pissing off Sunday ticket? That doesn't make any sense.
Well, it's all NFL.
Yeah, but NFL Plus would give me what? Like everybody but the Broncos and Chiefs?
I think NFL Sunday ticket, you can watch more than one game at a time.
I never do that. I don't have that.
No, I don't have the energy for that. But Maddie, okay, so I have now, like I said, you get a plus, a player gets a plus.
Okay.
If they get that's a +1, 2 pluses, +2. If they get a minus and 2 pluses, that's still a +1 because the minus takes away the plus. Okay, so I have 3 outstanding players. One got a +4, one got a +5, and one got a +4. Do you have any idea who those 3 players are?
I think Braylon's one of them.
You got it.
And thinking Martinez might have gotten one of them. And
do you remember the name of the player? They're third string, so it is what it is. Who caught those 2 spectacular passes from Martinez?
I know his number. It was number 87.
Brandon Smith.
Thank you. Yeah, I watched the plays. I've been sitting here, I'm like, what the fuck is that guy's name? Yeah, no.
Brandon Smith.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, this is how I rated them. Braylon Allen got 2 pluses and a double plus. And the double plus was he had a bunch of excellent runs. But one of them just was outstanding, and I was like, that's a double plus. So Braylon Allen really impressed me today. He ended up with a +4. So that was awesome. Martinez was the +5. Martinez, I rated with a plus, a minus, a double plus, and a plus. His first plus was from a ridiculous scramble, one of his first.
I know exactly the play you're talking about.
His minus was he threw 2 in one little series, 2 way overthrows, and I'll give leeway on 1. But 2 in a quick time frame, I had to give him just a minus on that.
On principle.
Then he had the outstanding bomb pass and then another outstanding bomb pass. Those were 2 double pluses, and they were right on the money.
Dude, like I was so impressed. And the announcers even said they were like, him and Smith must be hanging out after practice and working together because they were connecting really, really well. Like he knew exactly where he was going to be and just dropped it right into him. It was fantastic. And again, we talk about preseason like it's the fucking Super Bowl, but still, you got to admire it for what it is.
And then the final plus was for another outstanding scramble that he had after all the passes. I believe it was on that final drive to get that 3 points to win the game. But yeah, Martinez ended up with a +5 in my grading system. And Nate, channel member, says, do you think Joe Douglas uses this system? I don't know.
I think if he wants the show, he'll start.
Well, isn't it a pretty solid system? I can't be the only person who does stuff like this.
That's not a bad idea. I mean, you could just do it as a point or whatever. I mean, either way, it's simple enough, but it gets the message across.
And then Brandon Smith got 2 double pluses, and they were both for those outstanding catches from Martinez.
Catches were amazing, man. I just saw the ball leave his hands, and I was kind of like, I don't know if I'd have made. He caught that. I was impressed. Yeah, there were some standouts, and Tippmann didn't embarrass himself, which was honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I was watching the snaps for most of this game. When the only starting offensive lineman is your center, that
But he didn't
tells
hang in that long. He wasn't out there that long.
no. But that to me is right now is our biggest problem, genuinely our biggest issue that I worry about. And Tippman looked fine, and whoever it was that replaced him, like we didn't see any ridiculousness, so I was pretty happy with it.
I agree with that. And then I have a few more that were +1s or +2s. But before we do that, I just want to point out, excuse me, I just want to point out that this is the preseason schedule. And folks, the next two Saturday games, I do expect, I thought about this because I've told you guys, we're going normal time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to come on. Chances are it'll be in the third or the fourth quarter, depending on which game we're talking about here. But we will be coming on, and I would really appreciate everybody's support in coming on, because I'll tell you right now, we're going to be going against the monsters who stream these games. So like you have Green Bean, and you have Jets Media, and you have even Dano's been streaming some games. Then Gator, what is it? Gator, Jaguar. I forget I love his channel, but he's a Jaguar fan. He streams almost every game, and Tom Grassi streams most of the games. So chances are it's going to be slim pickings over here the next two Saturday nights. I fully appreciate and accept that. But I did want to point out that we will be here 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
And I will probably have the game on in the background.
Yeah, I'll have it on somewhere. But anyway, the other guys who impressed me, we got 2+2s. Peasley with that beautiful drop-in touchdown to Brownlee. That was gorgeous pass. And I gave him a double plus
catch too for Brownlee. I mean, I expected bigger things out of Brownlee last year, but glad he's still with the team, and I liked what I saw, man. Just laid it in.
And then I had Malachi Corley also with a double plus. He had a spectacular. It was thrown to Kuntz, I believe, and it ended up going through Kuntz's arms, and he scooped it up before it hit the ground, and then kept running with it. And I was like, that's a double plus easily. Now Corley did drop one or two that I saw, but he was making catches all night. So
yeah, I can't knock Corley's performance from whatever.
No, not at all. Guys, hit that like button. And then the plus ones I have Brownlee at a +1. I gave him a double plus for that catch and staying in bounds. Absolutely. But he also got a minus because there was a catch that he should have caught that Garrett Wilson or Mike Williams or even Alan Lazard would have caught, in my opinion. It was contested, but I just was a little upset. And I was like, that's why he's wide receiver 4 or 5 and not in the top 3. So Brownlee ended up with a +1. Also, Leonard Taylor III came in and stuffed the run like 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. I gave him a +1 for that. And Isaiah Davis also impressed me on a I think it was actually a pass that he caught, and I gave him a +1. But like I said, guys, absolutely nobody in the negative. There was nobody who I sat there going, "Oh God damn it!" Like
nobody. I was like, "Get this idiot off the field."
Yeah. Now, I do have a few things that happened during the game, specific moments that I want to talk about, and hopefully Maddie knows some of these. Well, first off, how about Zuerlein with the easy? It makes it look easy. 56-yard field goal.
Greg the legs. Like, I mean,
and like, did you see where it hit?
6-yard, and it was just like boom. Like
they could have had him back 10 yards.
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying.
And he would have hit that.
He could have hit a 63-yarder with that kick. It was fine. Like, and that's why we paid the man. That's
absolutely. And I'm so glad we did.
Yep.
Absolutely, Zach. Completely agree with you on that one. My kicker hit a 58-yarder. Yeah, not impressive. If you look at that, like I just said, if you saw that kick from Zuerlein from 56, he could have hit from 66. Like it was, he cleared it with no problem.
Cleared it well, fine. It was good.
And also, I want to Scott, Stack, a few other you guys have reached out to me in DMs, in comments section, and in my Gmail about how to watch the game if I can't watch the game with other links and other things I can try. And so I really do appreciate all you guys reaching out. That was awesome. Yeah, Joe the Jet. We were talking about it. Peasley and Martinez, they both looked good. Martinez
really
looked
good.
better, but Peasley had that beautiful like arc and drop right into the corner of the end zone, and Brownlee came up with it.
It's opportunity, and they both look great. I mean, Martinez looked good because I feel like he had great opportunities, scrambled well, but that Peasley just drop was just, I mean, right into his hands. And, Brownlee
Right
had
where
the
it needed
wherewithal
to be.
make sure it was in bounds. There was no argument. I like both of what I saw from both those guys. I'm really happy with what I saw from our quarterback situation.
Jay Quest is in here too. Infrared is in here. Guys, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys being in here. That is awesome. Yeah, and this is true too. I got to throw that in there. Our fourth and third QBs this year are better than all the QBs we had last year that weren't Aaron Rodgers.
Yep, 100%.
That's so
it's
true.
An embarrassment of riches.
We should have just kept Mike White. There you go, Scott. I know you're a Dolphins fan. Mike White is a hidden gem. Tyrod via Brownlee was golden. Yeah, I mean, Tyrod did not impress me today. He didn't. I was
didn't
not
embarrass himself.
Exactly.
He just played fine, whatever. But I also feel like he played like a veteran quarterback in a first preseason game where he just knew he was going to be in there for a couple of downs. You know what I mean? He wasn't out there. He knows his place on the roster is set. So he basically was like, I'm not going to turn the ball over, and then we'll see the third and fourth string guys get out here.
Absolutely. Agree completely.
And that's fine.
Okay. I have two things that don't necessarily have to do with the game play, but I wanted to get your thoughts on them, Maddie.
It has to do with their fucking wardrobe. I'm leaving this show.
No, but if we want really quickly, if we want to talk about the wardrobe,
no, we don't.
Why? I think they're doing this because they're waiting for the first home opener to reveal the green top.
Yeah, why they were white. I thought the same thing, and I think that's exactly it.
But once again, they look fire. So
yeah, they look great. I mean, the helmets just pop.
Oh,
God, I love seeing that helmet just
fucking.
The thing was, we saw it last year, fine, but knowing that's our helmet this year, feels good because, and honestly, part of that honestly feels like to me, they listened to the fans.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like all of us, everybody was like, make that the real fucking deal. We don't like this dumb Adam Case logo. And when they announced at the end of the Super Bowl they were doing that, how many of us were like, they fucking heard us? And maybe they didn't listen to us at all. They just knew it would look cool. But it felt good to know we're going to look the way we as fans want them to look.
I agree completely, man. It's so nice to see those uniforms out there. New York Jets flight talk. What's up? That's our boy Connor. I don't know if
my God. All right. Listen.
On Rich fucking Eisen.
All right, Connor, I'm mad at you because for like 2.5 hours, my Twitter feed turned into the fucking Connor love fest from everybody retweet. Look, you were great on Jake, dude, or on the show.
Rich Eisen.
But holy fuck, dude, I got on Twitter and it was just Connor. I was like, God damn, I already told everybody this kid's great. But it was hilarious. But yeah, dude, good for you. That was fantastic, but it was hilarious. I wanted to give you shit and keep a straight face, but I couldn't, dude. I was happy for you too.
Well, the funny thing is that he had tweeted about it, but I didn't see it. So I didn't see the tweet. I wasn't on my phone or anything.
Everybody else tweeted the fuck about it.
And then what ended up happening is I follow Rich Eisen. I love Rich Eisen's show. And so later on in the day, I pop onto YouTube and I see Rich Eisen on my timeline, and it says 13-year-old Jets fan something. And I was like, motherfucker, that's Connor. I click on it.
Yeah, there's no there's another fucking Jets Bobby Fischer out there.
Well, see, that's the thing. There could be of course, there's other 13, 12, 14-year-old Jets fans, but none as smart and know as much shit as Connor.
Connor presents well. He knows how to speak.
Yes, exactly.
Your average 13-year-old will be like, yo, bet on God, Jets, no cap, rushing game is fire, straight skivity. And you're like, what the blue fuck are you saying, you little weirdo? But Connor just talks to people like a normal person, gets his point across, sounds very intelligent, and that's a beautiful trait. Because my kids, I love saying all their dumb slang to them. It's really fun. I don't know what any of that shit means.
Fair enough. Jay Quest, I do kind of agree. I miss the old preseason when starters played. I don't want them to play a lot, but like
I
a
see his
series,
point, though. I do.
a
I see his point.
series. Give
But at
me
the same
something.
time, the game is different. You know what I mean? Like, they're the opposing teams would be happy to take out one of your starters. You know, you can say that
I
they would,
agree.
and especially if you're playing like we were playing Buffalo in the preseason. Believe me, every one of those third string linebackers would be like, if I can cripple Aaron Rodgers, I'm making this roster.
Yep.
So, the game changed.
To
We had
make
to
a name
change
for
with it.
themselves.
Yeah, 100%. So it is what it is. But I agree that I do miss those days too.
Okay, so the things I wanted to talk to you about that don't, and anyone in the comments section, please feel free. When the mainstream media wants to like take down Trump, and then all of a sudden they all use these little keywords, and you'll notice that CBS does it, and CNN does it, and whatever, and there'll be people who actually like put compilations together of CNN, MSNBC, NBC, all these channels all saying the exact same little like keywords.
Oh yeah, there was one where they literally showed like 17 news outlets saying the exact same like whole paragraph.
Yep. Okay. So I think the NFL is doing the same thing. If I have to hear a new dynamic kickoff one more fucking time, it's not that dynamic, folks. And I think you all know that. But it's clearly on their talking points.
It's yeah, they just have to bring it up. You know what my thing was, and this is, I know you're not a Rangers fan, but when Chris Drury played for the Rangers, if I had to hear one more fucking time that guy went to the Little League World Series, I was gonna slit my own fucking throat. I love Chris Drury, love the Rangers. I don't give a fuck that he went to the World Series Little League, and every year every game you'd hear it like 2 or 3 times, and they're doing the same thing with dynamic kickoff. You're like, we get it, shit changed. Just let us watch it and get used to it. You don't have to point it out to us. We can see that they're lined up 6 inches from each other on a fucking kickoff. We know.
Yeah, and I feel like they went in thinking, all right, we'll use this word dynamic, and we're gonna have some really cool kickoff returns. I think that what they should have done is if they were going to play this like keyword, everybody use this dynamic word, they should have waited till the season started, because not only in the preseason are people like trying not to get injured, but also it's like it's their first time trying this out, unless they were in the XFL.
The dynamic experience that you're going to get when the NFL season starts at full throttle.
Yeah. So that was one thing I noticed during the broadcast.
That's
literally,
I didn't even think about that. Good call.
Every kickoff, they used dynamic. And then the other thing, which I hate, because this is an easy way for the NFL, and people already think the NFL is rigged. People already think the officials are cheating. People already think that this is all bullshit, because it's very clear in certain games from last season that it definitely was leaning towards a certain team, that the officials were clearly
they're definitely asking questions doesn't make you sound like a crazy person.
No, but the virtual line to gain first down, did you see that?
No, I didn't.
They don't bring out the chain gang anymore. They have everyone has to sit around and wait for this virtual line to gain, and all of a sudden it pops up on the screen, and apparently coaches, people in the stadium, us at home, all see it at the same time, and it's like the first down yellow line, and it's like a CGI graphic with the ball, and it says whether they made it or they did not. And it took like double the amount of time to get that than it would have taken the chain gang to just run out there. And
gang, I like the chain gang.
Yeah, I have no problem
when you just see the guy and he goes, all right, one guy plants it, the other guy, and before he even moves the fucking chain. And I always say, move those chains like Jacob Marley, and now my joke is fucked.
Yeah, that's done. Zach, we did not talk about this yet. I have mentioned Mike Williams, but yes, he is cleared for practice. He was there during he was out on the field at one Jets drive during the Jets Redskins. What do they call it? Like the double practice. What do they call those?
Joint practice?
Yeah, the joint practices. He was out there, and yeah, I mean, he didn't participate in those, but he was doing like the singles, just getting on that.
The word is, I was reading a few things today, is the hope is he's going to be ready to rock and roll for game one. We'll see. Don't rush it yet, but you know, I'm just happy to see the progress is being made. You know.
Scott comes in and says Mike Williams should only be used by the goal line. It says he's a walking injury. I'll tell you this, Scott. You know what? If Mike Williams doesn't work out perfectly, it's okay. We got Alan Lazard. We're set. We're ready to go.
Never going to hear the end of this. Ever.
But anyway, yeah. So this virtual line to gain first down marker thing not only takes longer than the chain gang, but it is an easy way to completely fix a game. And the NFL already has been just bombarded with accusations of that. I don't know why they would do this.
And
the funny thing is, well, not only that, but like in the one or two I saw of this, they didn't even really show the replay. You know how they'll show a replay from the different angles to see if you could get the first. Nope, nothing. And they just showed people they showed like Salah on the sideline with his clipboard and all this other stuff. And they're like, yep, we're waiting for the booth to show us this magical CGI first down thing. And to me, not having it, I think it's another bullshit way for them to fix games. That's just All right. Got a few more things in here. Let's see. Bruce Hector had a nice sack in the game. I wrote that down. There was a really horrible call. It was 3rd and 14. This was towards the beginning of the game. It was 3rd and 14, and I don't know if Tyrod was out there or if it was Peasley, but they threw it to the side. Corley got it, and it looked like the play was. Now, it could have been Corley just trying to make something happen, but how quick it happened, it made me think it was the designed play from Nathaniel Hackett. He throws it one way, and it looked like he could have gotten some yardage, but he decides to cut it back across the entire field and gets dropped for a loss. Did not like that. The turf was just for both teams. It's not like it just affected the Jets. It was happening to the Jets and the Redskins. Both teams were slipping all over the place. When are we going to figure this out? Like, Woody Johnson knows that we have a very small window, and if you can fix something on your team by just putting grass on the fucking field and you can have much less injuries, better plants for cuts and all that, why wouldn't you do that? Now, I think he's said that the mayors have to agree to it, and they have not, but who knows? And the last thing, the fucking call on Will McDonald for roughing the passer. That was bullshit. I'm telling you, I couldn't even finish. I watched it on replay, and I couldn't even finish the word one to start counting 1-2 seconds from the time the ball was released to when Will McDonald hit the quarterback.
It wasn't every full second then.
It was. I went one. It was already hit, and they called roughing the passer on Will McDonald. So if Will McDonald is watching this, keep hitting like that. I don't give a shit. If you get penalized for that, all it'll do is expose the NFL even more for bullshit calls or shitty officiating. Keep hitting like that. That was a fine hit. As a matter of fact, it was awesome. And then the comment, they probably called him. He hit him perfectly between his waist and his like armpits and just brought him to the ground. Like there was nothing high. There was nothing low, because you can't hit low. You can't hit high. You can't spin him down. And they're like, well, it was probably because he planted him too hard. Well, so now you can't plant a guy. So you can't hit him high.
You can't finish a fucking tackle.
Yeah, you can't hit them high. You can't hit them below the waist. You can't grab them and spin them down. So now you also can't hit them and just put them down. What can you do? What can you fucking do, NFL officials? Please let me know. Please let me know. Because it's getting to the point where I'm getting so fucking annoyed. Let me know. Here, look, NFL officials. MidnightMikeShow@gmail.com. Please send me why that was roughing the passer. Because if he would have went too low, you would have called roughing the passer. If he would have hit him in his helmet, you would have called roughing the passer. Even if he didn't hit his helmet and hit him in like the shoulder, you would have called roughing the passer. If he would have grabbed him and not just dropped him and spun him down, you would have called roughing the passer. What can they do? Please let us know. I'd appreciate it.
Getting old.
Like, are we headed towards flag football? I mean, people make that joke all the time, but is that where we're literally
It's going to be
heading?
two-hand touch soon enough.
It's fucking embarrassing. Like, it really pisses me off. Folks, by the way, was it Clancy? Who was it who gave us our top 5 for this week? I don't remember.
I believe it was Clancy, but I can't remember.
This week, our top 5. And get ready for it because we're coming up on that time of the show for the intermission report. And of course, we have to do
Mike and Maddie's top 5.
This week, instead of usually it's always up to you guys. Throw us some top 5s. We'll pick one and then we'll all make our top 5s. This week, don't put them in the comments yet. Wait for the intermission report. This week, we had a great one last week. Top 5 movie theater snacks. And I feel like that would be a different list than top 5 like snacks you'd eat in a stadium.
Yeah, snacks at home or stadium or whatever. Like,
yeah,
there's certain things they sell at the movie theater.
And also another thing, by the way, guys, please subscribe if you're new. Hit that like button, please. It's both of those are free, and it really helps me out. But the movie theater snacks, the only problem I'm having with it is I started writing my snacks down as if it was when we used to all go to the movies in the 80s or the 90s. Now you could go to the movies, get a reclining fucking sofa chair and get like lobster and steak and burgers. And I'm not going.
What theater are you going to?
Dude, it's a lot of theaters, especially IMAX theaters. They have waitresses, they have tables, they have recliners.
We don't have all that shit out here. Like, there's 1 or 2 theaters called the Alamo Draft House, and that's all we have out here. And they have tables and they bring you beers and like you can get like a burger, but there's no lobster and shit, man. Fucking Fauntleroy.
They bring. I'm telling you, you can get like chicken fingers with like like fries and burgers
Jesus.
and all this shit now. When I go with my movie theater snacks, I'm not including that stuff. If you could get it in the 80s and the 90s at a movie theater, that's what I'm talking about. And I know because of my algorithms that most people who watch my channel were alive in the 80s and 90s. Okay, so but it also tells me I have literally 0 female viewers. Yet Monique and Valerie and Kim and Cassandra, people like that, may have something else to say about that. Who knows? But anyway, Maddie, any other takeaways from this game? We're 1-0. It doesn't matter.
I mean, it's a good preseason game. They look good. Nobody got hurt. That's the big takeaway. No injuries. Granted, only one starter really on the field, but that's fine. But I don't want to see any injuries. And I'm happy with what I saw. I mean, even if they had lost the game, I wouldn't have been upset because, again, it's preseason. I'm happy with what happened. I saw a lot of good plays from players that, before this year, I didn't know their names. So, yeah, I'm stoked. And, no injuries is the big takeaway. Yes. I'm happy with what I saw. So,
yes, and I don't think there were any major injuries on the other side either.
No, so I certainly don't want injuries for anyone.
But what I'm saying is it's mostly people are always blaming our turf, and I completely understand that.
No,
but
I get
today,
that.
There were no major injuries on the field for either team.
Sliding around, but
yeah.
But no, it was a good game. I think both teams walked away from it being able to evaluate some stuff because Redskins had some good plays too. We're not a Redskins show, but there were a couple Redskins players I was pretty impressed with.
That one pass at the beginning of the game from Jaden Daniels was beautiful.
Man, yeah, I mean there was a fair amount of things. So and I hate to sound all sappy, but it was just a generally overall good experience for both teams. Nobody got hurt. Both teams got to evaluate some of the players they wanted to evaluate, and I'm happy with this. So, good Saturday morning game, and I'm glad we can watch them at night next week.
And a credit to that QB they had come in towards the end. The Redskins had the guy out of Notre Dame. Mm-hmm. He had a few real good scrambles and things like that. So if I doubt there's any Redskins fans watching,
I genuinely think the Redskins quarterback situation is looking up for sure.
Yeah. Nate channel member says bougie ass Connecticut. The first theater that I ever saw that had all that shit was in New Jersey. I just want to point that out. Monique says dine-in movie theaters. Me and my daughter used to be like $75 minus tickets. Yeah, there are dine-in. That's what I'm saying. There's dine-in movie theaters. Channel member Zach says, what kind of field do the Rams and Chargers have, and why can't MetLife have it? I don't know. Let's
No,
talk.
because
Wild
Wildwave made a good point, though. It's probably hard to maintain grass with 2 teams playing on it, which
Scott,
I never thought about until he
were you
said
here
that.
earlier, man? I'm just like, I don't know how old you are. We've both been fans of football for 40 plus years. If I'm thinking about it, I will call them the Commanders.
Yeah,
but
you'll hear us say
usually-
Commanders, but usually, I mean, they're the Washington Redskins, man. I mean, that's for 40 years.
And not
we've
only
been
that,
calling them
and not only that, folks, I want to point out that my regular reaction videos or the video I put out today, which, guys, like I said, when you get off of here, go to my videos. It's 6 minutes, and I go fucking ballistic on the NFL and blackouts and all that shit as to why I only less than an
It's
hour
really
outside
amusing.
of the city, cannot get a Jets game, and I can't even pay to get a Jets game. I was so fired up earlier today. But I those videos and my reaction videos, I record those on one take.
Commanders.
So I just say what comes to my mind. I'm not an editor. I used to edit some of my old videos way back when this channel first started about like movies and things like that. I just come on, I shoot it, and then I put in the graphics that need to be put in, and I send it out. So if I'm not thinking, which I never am, I say Redskins. If I think about it, I will always try to be current and say Commanders. Oh, there it is. That's good.
I like that one, Commander Skins.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what they should petition them to change the name to. That'd be fucking hilarious.
All right. So we are going to be, you know what? It's pretty much time. Let me move over to my list. I have 4. I'm going to need your guys' help, possibly for my 5th movie theater snack, because there's so many out there, and it's like I know I'm forgetting. Ooh, I just thought of one.
I got my 5.
I'm gonna put it down, but maybe you guys can change my mind before I officially announce. Before I officially announce what I'm going with, maybe you guys can change my mind. But it is time. We're about halfway through the show. And when this is over, the link will go in the description and you guys can call in. We could talk about the Jets versus Redskins game. We could talk about whatever you want. Mike Williams coming off the PUP list. Whatever you guys want, we can talk about when we get back from the intermission report. But it is time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do the intermission report.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat.
Alrighty then.
Let's do this, Maddie. All right, folks, in the
Now
comments.
we're doing these in order, correct?
I have mine.
I can do mine in order. Because we
I'd
got a
say
little
I
prep
have-
time. I think that's fair.
Hold on. Let me just make sure. Hold on. I'm going to move one thing around because it's imperative to my movie going experience. I'm going to move it up to number 2 because it's 1 and 2 are imperative to my movie going experience. The rest I could, have one time, one another time, things like that. But let's see what you guys are saying. Oh, thank you, Valerie. My rants is what brought her here. Yeah, well, thank you. I just broke my pen. God damn it. And it's one of those pens where you click it in and then the thing, the thing that hooks on to to put it, hook it to your here, the little clip. Right?
Not anymore.
It broke off, but that's what makes the thing pop in. You push this and so this pen will never now go back in. Unfortunately. So that means it's trash, folks. But yeah, Valerie, that's how I try to get people in, and I'm glad you came in. I'm glad other people came in because of those rants. And like I said, they're legitimately genuine. When a Jets game ends, I come into the studio, I hit record, I scream for 5 to 10 minutes. I put in the graphics and whatnot that need to go in, the Midnight Mike Show logo, my name, and then the Twitter, whatever. And I just put it out on YouTube. That's it. So you're getting genuine me on that.
J-Quest, the topic is top 5 movie snacks.
Oh, that's how Monique found me too. I love you ladies. I love the ladies. Titans apparently game over. Titans beat the 49ers 17-13. You're laughing, but it was preseason. Did Brock Purdy even go out there? Brandon Ayuk, of course,
I was
didn't go
gonna
out.
say,
Did
what's his name,
McCaffrey? No, he's still hurt.
McCaffrey's out with a calf strain.
Yeah. Scott Black. Yeah, well, you know what? Yes, kind of. That's kind of what you get at the movie theater. They always have those boxed candies. So, Jay Quest, yes, the topic, absolutely. Oh, okay, here we go. Here's some. Valerie comes in. Milk Duds. Love Milk Duds. They are awesome. Can't argue with that. Oh, look, Snow Caps, absolutely. Clancy also with the nacho chips. Scott Black not talking on topic and going with that's why I'm here too. Feel the same about the Dolphins. Yes, I actually gained a lot. No, I know, and I gained a lot of Dolphins and Browns fans through my rants. Both of those Dolphins videos and the Browns video had like 20,000, and I got people both attacking me from Browns and Dolphins, and also people being like, "Hey, you're a real Jets fan. I appreciate that. You're willing to talk about how they suck." But that's all Jets fans. That's the difference between Jets fans and fans of other teams. Fans of other teams, like, no offense, Scott, Dolphins are a prime example of that, who if you never watched football and you went to a Dolphins fan and said, "Hey, tell me about your team," they'd think your team was fucking amazing. They wouldn't know you haven't won a playoff game in a quarter century. They wouldn't know that you haven't won a quarter or a playoff game since the Twin Towers were up. They would have no idea. They'd be like, "Oh my God, how many Super Bowl rings do you have?" Meanwhile, that same person goes to a Jets fan and they're like, "God, you guys are terrible." And we're like,
"Yeah, our life sucks."
Yeah, they suck. Even though since in that same time frame, we've won 6 playoff games and gone to 2 AFC championship games. That's the only difference. Let's keep going. They took him off a ventilator. Wait, whoa. Oh, is this about Bobby? By the way, did you know Bobby's been in the hospital?
No, Bobby quit calling our show, so.
Yeah, he's been in the hospital.
So? He doesn't have a phone?
Oh, okay. Well, if this is, I sure hope this isn't who they're talking about.
I
sure
believe
hope
they're talking about Jay Quest's pops, his dad.
Oh, okay. Well, God,
I know his dad's doing, was in the hospital, and we got a little update, and I'm glad to hear that. I didn't know Bobby. Yeah, we are definitely. What's wrong with Bobby?
I don't know. I heard something. I saw a quick thing. I saw him on Jake Asman, but I was working.
Oh, he can call Jake Asman.
Yeah, he can call Jake Asman, but he can't come on and fulfill his agreement to perform the national anthem on my show. Little upset about that.
Did he fall and impale himself on that broom that's behind him in every video?
Skittles, yep.
Oh, of course, Dano. It was my pleasure. I loved coming on. It was fun.
Absolutely, guys. Now you're working. Now you're working. Popcorn, gummy worms, bonbons. I'm seeing. Oh, that's Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe. Bonbons. Now, once again, I always associated bonbons with like housewives because I guess because
they're married with children.
Yeah. So, but that might, once again,
100%.
He said this to me earlier. It was like the Heidi Bowl because it got blacked out and I couldn't see it. Not the same thing.
Not even close.
Jets Raiders in the AFL in the regular season is a large difference than the Jets versus the Redskins in a first preseason game of the year.
But the sentiment's there.
Yeah.
All right, let's do these lists.
But not before Goobers. Do you remember Bonkers?
Yeah. Remember Bonkers?
They had like 2 flavors and they were like that chewy fruity candy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those were good. Okay, Maddie, let's do it. Give me your number 5.
Number 5. I am going with nachos.
Nice.
This easy one, you've got that cheese that will make you fucking have diarrhea 2 hours after the movie's over. It's basically the same garbage processed cheese that 7-Eleven has that we all love.
Yep.
But it's good, you throw it in there, you just eat nachos watching the movie, solid.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I used to love going into 7-Eleven. And by the way, in like Virginia and stuff, they have a 7-Eleven. Like by the time you can't see a 7-Eleven in your rearview mirror,
there's one on the horizon.
Yeah, there's one coming up, and it's like 7-Eleven gas stations. I couldn't believe it. Because we have them up here all over the place too, but nothing like I saw in like Virginia and stuff.
Yeah, they must be making money. I love 7-Eleven nachos because, one, you get as many jalapenos as you can throw on those fucking things. And I'm practically loading up the lid.
I don't do the jalapenos.
Oh, I love jalapenos.
But I used to like going into 7-Eleven and getting a hot dog and then going over to the machine that squirts out the cheese on the chili and just literally like covering it.
Yeah, basically the bun
Just-
is soaked. You're just eating like cheese soaked dough. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, basic. Yes. And there's like a hot dog in there somewhere.
And and the clerk always looks at you like, I don't give a fuck, but you're dumb.
Yeah, Bobby is back from the hospital looking good. I'm glad to hear that.
Good.
I am glad to hear that. Even though he hates us.
Yeah, he totally.
Okay, my number 5, there was a lot on this list, like the Milk Duds, like that, that was a really good
a little
one.
bit for one of mine.
Daniel Murphy says, my theaters must suck. None of them have nachos, and definitely none of them sell burgers or lobster or anything.
Yeah, I don't have any fucking lobster in my theaters.
I'm surprised they don't sell. I'm surprised they don't sell nachos. All right, so my number 5 is going to be one of the boxed candies, and it's those cookie dough box candies where you get the little hunks of cookie dough.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just now they're not as good as regular cookie dough because regular cookie dough is like
they're not bad.
No, I'll eat the shit.
You just kind of want more because you get the little baggie.
Yeah.
My number
give me your number 4, Maddie.
My number 4, I kind of cheated because I put like M&M's, Milk Duds, like all the boxed candies that have a box with a baggie in it that you have to.
Well, that's what the cookie dough ones are.
Yeah, exactly. So I went with those. I would say Milk Duds or M&M's are my favorite in those, but I just kind of went with the generic boxed candy thing. Yes, I like gas station nachos, and I'm not
same here. And what about this?
I have to judge that on an individual basis.
Yeah, you have to look.
And how drunk am I when I'm there?
But you have to look at the pizza.
You have to look at it. But also, if I'm shithoused and I'm like,
oh well, I'll have anything at that point.
That cheese looks like my teeth can get through it. Let me have 3 slices of that. My compliments to the chef. And the guy's like, it come in a box, whatever. But and yes, Murph, I know it's cheating. I fucking said it was cheating.
But you gave examples. You gave examples. That's fair.
Yeah. No, like I said, if I had to rate my top one, it'd be Milk Duds followed by M&M's. But Murph, by the way, I fucking love Murph. It fucking cracks me up.
Yeah, I'm so happy to have him here. Like it's awesome. He came over from Dano's show. He's always on Dano's shows. Like,
yeah, he's funny.
He's part of like Dano's Mafia, whereas like we have my Mafia, which is like me, you, Honest Abe, Tommy Jets, Sean Neutron.
Speaking of shit, I gotta go on Jets Uncovered more. The next morning, I was like I was the most popular fuck on Twitter ever. Everybody's like, "Hey, retweeted you, liked your tweet," and I'm like, "Good lord, dude."
And look, he's agreeing with you on that one, man.
Yeah,
when you're drunk, I'll eat anything from a gas station.
Well, God forbid if Taco Bell's open when I'm drunk. Oh fuck it. I'm like, give me all the tacos you have, and I'm just gonna fucking mouth through them.
I'm so hungry I could eat a sandwich from a gas station.
My favorite line is still from The Simpsons. Like, I'm so hungry I could eat at Arby's because I love Arby's.
Arby's came. My wife hates Arby's. But
your wife
Arby's,
is a classy woman.
Arby's came out with a buffalo chicken slider, and it's fucking amazing.
I will only eat the potato cakes or fries from Arby's. I will never touch that meat that turns into liquid if you leave it out long enough.
You guys, I don't have sheets in Jersey.
There's no sheets over here.
But if I go out into like Pennsylvania or I go any south, they're all over the place. All right, no, is Sheetz / Wawa considered a gas station? Some of them, same with Quick Check, same with 7-Eleven. Some of them are independent, and some have a gas station attached. Yeah. My number 4 is like your number 5 is nachos with the nacho cheese.
Yeah,
I mean, you can't go wrong.
It's a great stadium snack too. Like they're the same nachos across the board, and they're always a winner to me.
But do you remember that when we were younger, when we were kids, and you go to the movie theater and order nachos, the nachos would come in a plate and they'd
throw cheese on them and shit.
Yeah. Now you order it and the nachos come in a bag and the cheese comes in a container.
Cup, and maybe they heat that up, maybe they don't.
Who knows?
It depends on how motivated the 15-year-old really is behind the counter.
All right, give me your number 3.
Number 3. I had to put this one aside. I love them, Reese's Pieces.
I love Reese's.
They're so
Any
good.
kind of Reese's. It
Yeah.
could be
Yeah,
it could be
give me
Reese's
cups, give me pieces, all of them.
Yeah, the cups, the pieces, the big cups. I love the Reese's big cups.
My wife
I love
hates peanut butter, but can still eat Reese's. I don't know who the fuck she is.
I like the big one, like so the big cups, and then they also have the big cats, the Kit Kats that are big.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but like I say, chocolate and peanut butter, it's like fucking genius, man.
My whole mouth just filled with water.
We're gonna take an intermission to go to the grocery store real quick.
All right, let's get through this so we can get to everybody's calls. My number 3, M&Ms. So I am very specific, and it's mostly because I like to dump them in popcorn. You dump them in the popcorn, you get a nice little smorgasbord. Boom, it's awesome.
Leads me to my number 2, which is popcorn.
There you go. Which leads me to my number. How do you like your popcorn?
I like it buttered, but if it depends. If I can butter it myself, I'm usually happier.
Me too.
But you know.
Oh, but I hold on. I'll get to it when I get to it. But I have a very specific with the butter.
If I can still enjoy it without butter, but I prefer with butter.
This is the one I moved up to number 2 because I literally can't go, and we haven't talked drinks, but I love Coca-Cola so much that a huge one of those oversized that is so big. How do you even drink it? It's like a gallon of Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
I have to have a Coke. Can. Yeah, it's my number 2. I have Coke stuff behind me. I have Coke shit everywhere. I have a big glass, like old school Coca-Cola.
I wanted to include it, but I thought of it as a drink, not a snack.
To me, you can't.
I don't discount it though. And now you can get it in vanilla or raspberry. Like if there's one thing they're doing better now than we were kids,
or cherry
soda machine.
Well, they have those soda machines now where it's like you have all those options.
That's what I mean. That's fantastic. Yeah. I have yet to try most of those, but the idea that if I were to want a fucking peanut butter Coke, I could have it.
I think they have those at Five Guys. Do you guys have Five Guys out there?
Oh yeah, we got Five Guys.
Yeah, I think they have those machines at Five Guys
to eat at.
Okay, so did you give your number 2?
2 was popcorn.
Okay, what's your number 1?
My number 1, Sour Patch Kids.
Oh, that's a good one.
There's nothing better than leaving the theater and your tongue feels like a fucking bearded dragon's asshole because it's all fucking, bumpy and dried out from all that sugar. 100%.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't even think of that one, and that one easily could have made my list at like 4 or 5. I love Sour Patch Kids and like sour candies. Dano says Reese's equals crack. Wash it down with a Mountain Dew.
And then just run around the parking lot for an
hour. But yeah, I mean, yeah, Coke. But the Coke cannot. With my number 1, you can't have it without a Coke. And my number 1 is Maddie's number 2. It's popcorn with extra butter, extra salt. But here's the thing. I've started to react weird to that fake oil butter.
Oh, okay.
I have an air popper that when I'm at home that I pop my own popcorn with. And I've had it since the 80s. Okay. And it pops up and then goes over into the bowl.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
Then you melt real fucking butter. And you pour it
Mike's
all
got
over.
A fucking sandwich bag with a handful of butter in for his popcorn at the theater.
Like, dude, my wife gets so like when I make pop. We have family movie nights, and I'll make the popcorn, and I usually would have to make hers differently than how I make it for me and the kids because I dump like a quarter to half a stick of butter.
Yeah,
on that popcorn.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, Murph. It's homemade popcorn with real butter is the best.
Yes. I'm glad everybody's agreeing, but we got to get back to some Jets talk. Folks, and your calls. So before we exit out of this intermission report, let me pop in the link to give Maddie and I a call. Hold on one second.
Give us a jingle jangle. I'm going to have to refresh my cocktail, so when you and Mets nerd out about wrestling, I'll probably do that.
You just assume that's what's going to happen?
Yeah, it happens every fucking time. I almost think you guys call each other beforehand. You're like, listen, talk about how you could see fucking The Rock's dick through his shorts because Maddie fucking hates
That's not coming out of my mouth. That's coming out of Met's mouth.
Sure.
Literally.
Feel like you could
All
see
right,
it's like
that
a
was,
baby's
ladies and
arm
gentlemen,
holding an apple.
That was the intermission report. And of course,
Mike and Maddie's top 5.
let's get out of here and we'll be right back and we'll take your calls.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat.
Alrighty then.
I liked that top 5.
That was a great one.
Yeah. Next week, we go back to having you guys pick the top 5. Now, you guys did pick that. I believe it was Clancy who picked it. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. If it was someone else, we want to give you credit. Yeah. And another one would be, in my opinion, stadium snacks. Because, and I'll give one away right now.
Something like that. We did tailgate food.
No, we didn't, because we did tailgate food. But in the stadium, when I used to sit in that upper bowl of Giant Stadium on a freezing cold day with, your sweatshirts and all that on with a jersey over it, just so you can make, over it.
Just so everybody knew what was up.
Dude, one of my favorites sitting up in that bowl under like the Hess logo or the Marlboro logo was a potato knish with mustard. You bite into that shit, the steam that comes out of it. Oh,
mine was a sip of Jack from my dad's flask.
Well, we would have the jet juice in our section.
That would be a
You tried to make that one night and failed miserably.
Oh, I made it. It just tasted like fucking sucking a wet fart out of a dead pigeon.
You didn't make it right. It's Ecto Cooler and vodka in a milk jug.
Well, listen, fuckface, if you want to go pay exorbitant eBay prices for Ecto Cooler and send it to me, I'm willing to give it another go. The color was right, and it was in a glass. I don't have a milk jug, for God's sakes. I tried.
Everyone has a milk jug.
Fuck you, buddy.
Fuck you, buddy.
I'm not your buddy, guys.
All right, guys. I have posted 2 links in the description, or I'm sorry, in the comments. So please go over and join us tonight on the Midnight Mike Show. I want to hear your thoughts on the Jets Redskins Commanders game. I want to hear who your standouts were, all that stuff. Yeah, Valerie, hell yeah, they're so good. And when you bite in the steam, oh my god,
they are good. They are fucking good. Especially if you've had like 3 beers and it's like cold out and you're like, this is the most amazing fucking food I've ever seen. It's warming me, it's feeding me. This fucking thing loves me. And you're like, oh, I'm a drunk dumbass.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our regular. The man that Maddie fears, apparently. He has to run away.
Don't fear. It's more like a...
let's bring him in. It's Mets. How you doing, Mets?
Oh, boy. Here we go. Wrestling time.
I'm the best in moves with how things have been going lately.
Oh, tell us about it. What's up? Did that kid grow up and come back for revenge?
No.
He was like, you threw me across a store, and now I'm grown up, and I'm going to take you out, Mets.
Like, I've been drinking milk, and I'm going to put you in the cart.
Remember those commercials when you drink the milk?
I like how Mets tries to get mad at us for fucking with him about this, but what he's secretly doing is he's hiding his laughter right now. He's like, fucking dickheads, you're funny, but fuck you.
So, Mets, why are you upset? Why are you so pissed off?
How bad the Met team has been doing with Seattle.
Yeah, what sucks is one of my buddies at work is a huge fucking Mariners fan. We're walking into work today. He goes, man, your Mets really shit the bed last night. I was like, I knew you were going to fucking say something. It's only the bottom of the second, dude. Chill out.
But still, the fact that this team is not showing any discipline in this series, at least when it comes to the plate, like they're being flint-flanked, sandbagged, and swindled every damn time is pissing me off.
Dude, this team is not going to go to the fucking playoffs. Like,
what are you expecting out of them?
Like, right now, any game they win, they're making beds in a burning house. It's not a big deal. The season was over by the end of fucking May. Like, it's nice to see flashes here and there.
But you knew how this team was going to do. By the middle of June, we were all like, Christ. I mean, we were celebrating when they got to 500. So you got to not take it so personally, dude. It's just life, buddy. It's
Well, that's the thing that I'm confused about, Mets, is that it's like, okay, I'm a Yankee fan. So I could sit here and come on and be like, I am so fucking pissed that the Yankees have blown it. I just can't stand it. Fucking Aaron Judge, I mean, he's doing great, but I could sit here and do that because the Yankees were expected to be in the playoffs and a potentially World Series run. The Mets were never expected to do that. So really, the Mets are just going par for the course. They might even be overachieving.
What's wrong with overachieving? Didn't the Giants do that in 22? I didn't expect them to get to the postseason that year.
No, correct. And the Mets, there's nothing wrong with overachieving. But my point is that getting so pissed off. So if like during the let's say the 96 or not 97, I'm sorry, 95 or 96 season of the New York Jets, if I sat there and was like, I'm so fucking pissed, they're screwing up, blah, 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 blah. The Jets were expected to be the worst team in the division and one of the worst teams in the league. You know? Now, if the Jets won that this year, then I can get pissed off.
I mean,
we're expected to do well. Like
Sheldon Brown or was it Dwayne Brown? I don't know which one it was. We lost Aaron for that year.
Well, Mats, I'm just saying, if you get too upset about a team that isn't supposed to do good anyway, you know, that may be detrimental to your health.
You're just going to give yourself, you're giving yourself a fucking ulcer, dude. I'm like, if the Mets win, I'm like, great, cool, I'm happy to see it. Right now, I literally use baseball to take naps.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold on, Mets. I just want to make sure that everyone who's coming in, we have a lot of people who have timed out, a lot of new people coming in. I would love for all of you guys to hit that like button, subscribe if you're new. We'd really appreciate it. We're always here Saturday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when you get off of here, make sure to check out my newest video in the video section, not the live section, where I go off on the NFL and blackouts and all that stuff, and give it a thumbs up, and it helps out. But go ahead, Mets.
Other things that were pissing me off, I mean, granted, this one's not really a piss off. It's more of a what the fuck off, like sort of thing. Why the heck are they going to do a NASCAR race at Truesett and then a damn baseball game in Bristol next season?
I saw the mock-up for what the stadium is going to look like, and there's like people who are going to be sitting so far away from home plate because of how a NASCAR track is set up. It's going to look bizarre.
It's going to look stupid.
And do they really have, like, who do they have in that game?
Reds and the Braves.
Okay, so are the Reds and the Braves going to fill like 100,000 seat?
Well, considering the
NASCAR?
distance, when you consider how close to the Bristol area both teams' major home bases are, I can understand the logic to it, but still, why put the Bristol race at Truesett Park?
I don't know. I don't know those NASCAR or whatever.
They're not do that, but maybe they're not going to do that one. And then the real thing that pisses me off, and yes, man, this is wrestling related, but not WWE. TNA choosing to do their big event in October in Detroit instead of down south. If you're doing most of your tours the back half of the year in the deep south or the mid south, why not keep it there?
Well, I agree with that. TNA needs to develop a region and just stick to it. They're not big enough to be like moving all over the place. They definitely need to pick a couple states and just stick with that until the company builds up a little bit.
Here's what their tour schedule looks like between now and the end of the year. They just finished up some TV.
That's my cue.
Just finished up some TV tapings in Florida. Then they're going to do a TNA Plus show plus another TV taping up in Kentucky at the end of August. Then they're coming to South Carolina then they're going to Texas for the middle of September for another TV taping and another TNA Plus like PLE show. Then they're coming to Spartanburg at the end of the month for another couple of TV tapings. Then in November, they're going to be doing a couple of shows in North Carolina, one for TV tapings in Fayetteville, and then WrestleCade at Winston-Salem. And they're going to wrap up the year in Atlanta. So why would you have your big event at the end of October in Detroit?
I don't know that, but I do know Detroit is a very, like Chicago and New York, is a very loyal wrestling city. So maybe that's their thinking. But Infrared channel member comes in and says, I love a nice tall boy of Yingling for a good movie. It involves our Jets playing on Sundays. I'm glad this year I won't envision myself jumping out a second floor window nose first this season. No, Infrared, it should be a great season. And at this point, it's looking like we could possibly win the first 5 games, especially with San Francisco having McCaffrey maybe not available, Ayuk being gone. It definitely looks like if the Jets win that game, we are going to be riding high. And we talked about this a couple weeks ago. When you look at that schedule, hold on, let me bring this down and go over here and bring this up.
Against Atlanta tonight.
Say that again.
At least the Rockies are putting a fight up against Atlanta tonight.
The Rockies are I hate to say it because the GOATs are in their organization, but the Rockies are a terribly run organization.
True.
Absolutely.
But I'm just saying that at least for tonight, they're putting a fight up against Atlanta. It's tied at 8 in the 6th.
Do you see the player stats?
Yeah, I've seen the player stats. I know they're fun.
How's Bretton Doyle doing tonight?
He just got an RBI single to tie it up.
He's one of the best things in their organization right now.
4 with a couple of singles. Actually, the big player tonight has been Sam Hilliard, 5 RBIs.
So this is what I wanted to show you guys with Ayuk leaving, with McCaffrey being potentially on the injured list. If the Jets beat San Francisco, it is not out of the realm of possibilities that if we beat the Niners, we beat the Titans, we beat the Patriots, we beat the Broncos, we beat the Vikings in London, and it leaves it to that what is that, a Monday night or Thursday night football game? It's too small on my
Monday night against Buffalo.
Yeah, that game, and then we could win that game. It's not like we beat them last year with Zach Wilson. It's not. The Jets are primed right now. They are ready to go. They are ready to kick some ass, and we all just have to keep riding the hype.
Something that's not a split with Buffalo this year, because the last 2 years it's been home and home splits with them.
No, that's true. That's true. We need to go up to Orchard Park, and we need to beat the Buffalo Bills. We need
to do a what's up headbutt to their cojones, get the tables, and then powerbomb them through it.
Maddie came back to more wrestling talk. Sorry about that, Maddie.
I was going to say, I thought I missed it, but here we go. We need Jake the Snake to get in there and do the DDT.
Well, speaking of wrestling, some sad news recently.
Oh, yeah, Kevin Sullivan.
Who the fuck is that?
The Taskmaster.
Dude.
One of the launches of WCW.
Dungeon of Doom.
And Bob Backlund's diagnosed with dementia.
Well, that's a
shame. Bob Backlund had dementia since he came back in the 90s. He's always been a little out of it. But anyway, let me get back. A lot of you guys in here, including Maddie, talking about being a Pepsi guy. We'll get to that in a second. I'll get to tell you why you're wrong. Scott says, Mike, that is a classic stoner move right there. What are we talking about? What was the classic stoner move? Is it the way I ate my popcorn? Possibly. I don't know. Valerie says these Jets fans know what they're talking about. Yeah, hey, it is what it is. But yeah, Scott agrees with Maddie. There it is. Pepsi guy. And then Maddie, I never bring up Maddie's comments because look at that picture. Makes you want to throw up. Actually, you know what? For a short period, and I might have brought this up on the show before, for a short period, I did kind of become a Pepsi guy because if you remember in the 90s, all of a sudden Pepsi had this huge marketing thing. Not only did they do the Pepsi Super Bowl halftime show, but they had Shaq, and I was a big Shaq fan. He had the big gulp where the mouth was wider, right?
Yeah.
Loved that. I bought that in. Then they had Britney Spears doing a whole thing, and then they had the Spice Girls who did their own generation, because after it was the choice of the new generation, it was Generation Next.
Yeah.
And the Spice Girls had a whole song dedicated to that and a commercial that went along with that.
Here's the thing, I don't hate Coke. I don't dislike Coke. I feel like Pepsi's a little lighter. Now, if I'm going to have like a whiskey and Coke, I usually prefer to have a Coca-Cola. But if I'm going to have a rum, I'd rather have a rum and Diet Pepsi, because I think Diet Pepsi is crisper.
Didn't they also have Jeff Gordon for Pepsi?
Yeah, no, in the 90s they had any celebrity
who
was endorsing
they got all the stars for sure.
And Daniel, I know what Coke you're talking about. That's okay. Coke Zero, Scott Black. What am I, a female? Now you're a Dolphins fan, so I guess that tracks.
I'm gonna push back on you. That Coke Zero is not bad.
No,
neither is.
It may not be bad, but
I wouldn't. If I'm gonna have a rum and Coke, I'm gonna use regular Coke.
Okay, he redeemed himself a little bit. If you're gonna have a Coke Zero, you throw in the whiskey. All of a sudden,
I haven't had it
all
with,
of a sudden
whiskey yet.
Daniel Murphy, I gotta agree with you here. Channel member says NASCAR sucks. I can't stand NASCAR, but back in the day, my grandfather, or my grandfather's brother, my great uncle, used to race stock cars, and they would race at a dirt track. And I'm telling you, as a kid, as a little boy, going to those races and sitting there, and when they take the turn, you would literally get dirt and mud kicked up onto you in the stands. And when you'd stand up on the bleachers, your butt print would be there with the silver bleacher, and everything around it would be mud and dirt. And as a little boy, that was
my thing on NASCAR is this: NASCAR parties are fun, even if you don't know shit about NASCAR, because you're out, you're drinking beer, and like there's always somebody who's going to explain to you how NASCAR works, and it's going to go completely over your head because you don't want to learn, but you're going to have a good time.
I've actually been to a few NASCAR races.
I have a similar thing to what Maddie just described with golf. I never want to watch golf. I never want to play golf. I hate it. But if I've ever turned it on or walked in the room while my grandfather was watching it, I found the best thing to do is to just pick someone who's in like the top 10 and just follow that person. And then you get into it. You're like, you're watching how many holes they're going over or under, and you're watching them go up or down the leaderboard.
Yeah,
and if I sit down and watch it, I can get into it. Yeah.
And then there was the crap that came out of D23 recently. Do we need Toy Story 5, The Incredibles 3, and Frozen 3? No.
I just love they're going to go ahead with that live-action Snow White movie that nobody wants.
I would prefer the live-action Lilo.
Oh, yeah, it's Snow White and the not dwarfs.
Well, I guess they took all those guys out and they put CGI dwarves in. My whole thing is this. I don't know what universe we live in.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Yeah, they
didn't. They're not dwarfs. They took them out and made them look like dwarfs, but they're taller. They're like average height people.
They're like waist high.
It's the stupidest thing.
I don't
and
care.
Snow White
I'm not
is
gonna
like
watch it.
Hispanic
but in what world is Gal Gadot concerned about a dog like Rachel Ziegler being prettier than her?
And again,
I'm sorry, but I'm like that's like the magic mirror is clearly on the take in this one if it's telling her that girl's prettier than she is. Like
thank you, Joe.
Live action Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Daredevil Born Again trailer looked good.
I'll move up in the comments, guys. Remember, guys, hit that like button. That's free. It helps out so much the show and more people to be able to see that we're live. So just if you haven't, hit the thumbs up button. And super chats would be awesome.
I mean, I've basically gone a full-blown Disney boycott with how badly it's gone down the rabbit hole of political wokeness. But still, the fact that they're just basically killing their cash cows at Pixar and other works. Look, Manoa 2, I don't have an issue with. I wouldn't mind that. But every other sequel, just put these damn things in a coffin.
No, I agree with that. I, out of all people, am one of the biggest Disney people on the planet. I had my honeymoon in Disney. I used to go every year as a child. But recently, the stuff I'm seeing coming out of Disney and Disney World, we were contemplating this year is me and my wife's 10-year wedding anniversary. And we had our honeymoon there. So we wanted to go back, and we both decided like, we don't want to give our money to Disney anymore. And that's
Just
why
go to
the
Universal.
trip was changed.
You just go
No,
to
we
Universal.
went to go to Dollywood. See our girl, Dolly.
Well, it's either. Well, I mean, if you do
That's
go to
what-
a
that's
Florida
what's up.
park, if you do go to a Florida park, stick to Universal.
I will say, the one
Scott,
thing
I
that
talked
looked good
about
was
this
Daredevil.
earlier. I know you left and came back. You left and came back, but I mentioned taking the M&Ms and dumping them in the popcorn. Hell fucking yeah, man. That's
I'm more of a
awesome.
Twizzlers
Unfortunately,
guy.
they are heavier, so eventually they get to the bottom. But while they're still in the mix, so damn good.
I prefer Twizzlers
So damn good.
with
I like
nachos.
I like Red Vines better than Twizzlers.
Yeah, red vines actually have a little bit more of a less of a waxy flavor.
Yeah, they got.
But I mean, Twizzlers are good too.
Twizzlers are
Infrared
fine.
channel member comes in, says, I hate soccer, but salute to our women's soccer team that won a gold goddamn medal today. Salute to our beautiful ladies that kicked the ball. Yeah, well, this group is a lot more likable than the group that was in the World Cup and prior that just had no respect for the country. There's a lot more girls on this team that didn't do all that nonsense.
And
Don't
our
know what this
and our
means.
men's Olympic team won the gold in basketball again, but still, I'm not happy with how much of a bunch of political assholes this core is.
I'm not watching them.
Well, the funny thing is, I actually saw the people. No, I haven't watched them really at all either. But I saw some. I've seen people actually claim that this team could beat the original '92 Dream Team,
Bullshit.
and it's like
Bullshit.
that. Tell me you didn't do any history and
All that,
research.
That's just a great way
on
of telling me
basketball
how old you
without
are.
telling.
That's all it is. It tells
yeah,
me
it tells your age
you weren't
immediately.
alive to see that shit. It's kind of like when people like
Yeah,
I
you're
don't- no.
That claim is bullshit.
Dude, the original Dream Team, McDonald's had the gold medal meal, and you could get, your meal, and they would come in with a collector's cup, and they'd have Jordan on it, or Bird on it, or Larry, or Magic Johnson on it, or
Larry Bird's
whoever.
trash talk
And
alone would make Steph Curry cry.
Oh, and LeBron. Larry Bird would literally make
LeBron would start
LeBron
throwing punches at
cry.
Michael Jordan.
And
But
Ewing,
what is
if he
this,
was
Scott?
still,
I don't know what this is in reference to.
and Ewing would just
I'll
tell
tell
them
you.
to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, Ewing would just fuck. Yeah, it's
Those guys would
granted, it's two different
destroy them.
styles of fucking basketball, but there's no like they. I mean, I don't want to
Who
say
else
that
was
the
on that
'92
team?
team
Karl
could shut
Malone?
them out, but they certainly could. Malone was on that team.
Stockton,
Stockton was on the team. Who
Dennis
was it?
Robinson,
Chris Mullins was on that
Rob-
team.
David
Mullins?
Robinson.
David Robinson.
Yeah, like there's the '92 team would
Dude,
fucking fly.
that's-
Barkley would get every
Oh,
fucking rebound
crush
because he's not afraid to get bumped into. Like, Barkley would be like, I don't know much about 2024, but I know 2024 is in trouble. And he'd be right.
Dano says, do you ever wonder to yourself what Mets sounded like at 11 years old?
About the
I
same.
wonder. Well, at 11, your voice is about to change, so I feel like it'd have like that. Sir,
Mets
yes,
was 11.
sir.
I would sound a bit like Mola Marsh at 11.
Oh, Maddie. He has a point here. Daniel Murphy. There's more like Red Vines wrapped.
Yeah. Pill
The
Twizzlers
Pull and
are
Peel
good.
Twizzlers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not dogging Twizzlers. I'm just saying, gun to my head, if I have to pick a favorite, I like Red Vines. Infrared
All
knows
right.
Chris Mullen, dude.
Yeah.
Basketball fans know Mullen was sick, dude.
And hell yeah, man.
100%.
Jordan over LeBron all day long. There's something that Jets fans, Dolphins fans, everyone can agree with.
Anybody whose eyeballs work can agree on.
All right, Mets. Do you have anything else to say? Anything else do you want to comment on? What did you see the Jets Redskins game?
Not really, but I did keep a tab on it.
All right. Well, check out what some of the guys did, man. Braylon Allen had a great game. Yeah, there was a few guys who had some great game, and it was fun to watch. But I appreciate you being here.
Like,
Love you, bud.
I love you, Mets. It's always great having you on
It's
here.
mostly physical.
I am going to. We are down to our last half. Actually, we're less than a half hour away from ending the show. But I am going to drop the link to call in one more time. But I do have some in the green room. But I feel like we could get through some people. Yes. Okay. I saw what you saw, Maddie. I saw what you saw. Is it this one? Nope. Sorry, it moved when I was trying to click it. Chris Mullen was the most slept on player of all time,
dude.
man.
He didn't get on that team by accident. He was so good.
But you know what it was is that, he was in there with Ewing, Bird, Jordan.
He knew how to
Johnson.
be an amazing role player and take care of business, and was still an all-star. Like, it was 100%. Like, again, we're not a basketball show, but we could go off on this for hours.
Oh, we're not a basketball show. We're the show that covered the Knicks constantly during their playoff.
We make time for hoops,
and we're also the show that if the talking gets too crazy, it turns into this.
Yeah, degenerate. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at those handsome sons of bitches. I actually, speaking of, I'm going to call it now. I don't think the Rangers did anything in the offseason that's going to help them. I think they're going to definitely dip in the next season, and it's going to cost them with Igor's new contract.
All right, well, let's bring in our next guest, ladies and gentlemen. He's actually coming in rocking a Titans jersey, which is very different to Jets content creation. I have one somewhere, but I don't know where. Let's bring him in. What's up, Nate? How was that ride with Jake Asman?
Attaboy. What's up, Nate?
Great. What's up, Maddie? What's up? How's it going? Midnight, Mike?
I like the hat, dude. That's solid.
Yeah, he gave me the old... I'm usually the guy messaging people like, hey, are you going back to the city? And he gave me the old, like, did you drive in from the Upper West? I was like, do you want to ride back? And he was like, yeah, that would be great. So
what was he doing on the way in and out? Was he expecting to Uber?
No, on the way in, he was doing an event meetup at a restaurant in Jersey.
Yeah.
That,
but
the
how
one
did
you
he get
referenced,
there?
Yeah,
but how did he get there?
That was the night before. He did it.
Gotcha.
He went with the other content creator, Richie, who picked him up from the
I feel
city.
like Jake Asman was like Adam
restaurant.
Sandler and Big Daddy at the toll booth. It's like, where are you going? Downtown. You want to take me with you? All right.
Yeah, exactly.
No pay for you, buddy.
Keep the nickel. Keep the nickel.
Yeah, keep the quarter.
And now I have to ask you,
picked him up in the parking lot. He's like, I got all my bags, all his like gear, and just threw it in the back. I was like, "Oh, take me to." I won't drop his address, but it's like, all right.
I gotta ask you, only because I'm literally from like East Hanover. Basically, I'm from Parsippany and Whippany, which is surrounded by East Hanover. Did you eat at that Mexican restaurant?
No, I didn't go that night. Clancy was in the chat. Was there? I wasn't there. I was at the practice the next day. He stayed at a hotel in an area, walked from the restaurant to a hotel, went to practice, and that's when he texted me like, "Hey, did you drive back?" And I drove to practice that morning to watch.
Okay, because the next time I head home, I was thinking about going there, but I need a few people to confirm that the food was as good as Jake says it is. Because obviously Jake's going to put over the food because they let him host the event there. I need to hear other people's takes on that food. So Clancy, in the comments, if you're in there, let me know. So Nate, what do you think of the game today?
He just said it was banging.
Yeah,
game was sweet. I mean, also with Don Jose, I know they said Rex Ryan goes there a lot, and he loved it when he was coaching here. So that's a good sign off. Game was great. I was actually
that's a good endorsement.
You said earlier, call in if you were at the game. That was me. I was one of the sad 100 people at the game in the sun today, but it was fun. Olu was definitely fun to watch. I had my binoculars out, so I was like specifically watching certain guys over and over on for like a series at a time. Olu was a wall. No one got by him. He was the one that kind of sprung that Braylon Allen like 20-yard run down the left sideline. He was just created like a wall for that. Brownlee, as you referenced, I don't have the -1. I'm only pluses on Brownlee. I'm not -1 on his contested catch. So on your board, I'm +2 for Brownlee. I think he should. I thought before today he should make the roster. I think people are high on Gibson because of the one play week 1.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd probably all be
I'm
shitting
high
on
on
Gibson for
Brownlee.
fumbling late in the season. Yeah, I love Brownlee, and
I liked Brownlee
Brownlee was the
last
one to
year.
return the punt return. God damn, they'd want us to be our third receiver.
Yeah.
I agree.
Leonard Taylor
Yeah.
stood out the whole game, like the
Well,
whole.
he had
game.
that one just where he just dropped that guy like a couple
He
yards
has
behind.
4 points for me. I'm on your system now. Leonard Taylor's plus 4
Because-
points. I was just even when he wasn't making plays, I was like, who's that guy in the backfield? It's 96 again. He was just like 5 yards in the backfield. Even if the run went the other way, he was just like always in the backfield. And then like he seemed like I'm a big like body language guy with athletes. Like it seemed like later in the game, he got a lot of snaps. He got a lot of playing time. And I think he was one of the guys that got a higher signing bonus. Like I think he has a pretty good shot to make the roster anyway. I think they were high on him, but like he got that sack and he was doing like his new sack dance, and he was like, "Yeah, these second and third stringers are like this is food for me." Like
I want to jump in real
move me
quick
up to
on
the
that
twos,
with what
you know?
Nate just said. Having watched football for a long time, like both of you have, body language is something you can really read, and it's not easy to describe. But when like you look at one of us and be like, "Yo, dude, he's
That's
ready
all
to
I
go."
watch. I love it.
He came here and he doesn't give a shit if they win or lose. He wants to taste somebody's bone marrow. That guy is ready to go. So that's a great call, Nate. Thank you for bringing that up because I would not have thought of it.
I don't know if I called in that night, but when I went to OTAs, they had like a season ticket holder OTAs. There were like 50 or 60 of us at this OTA thing with no media there. It was sweet. I called into Jake's show and Nick Shine show, and the only thing that I took from that practice was like, yo, this 5th-round dude Stiggers, he's either a cocky, arrogant asshole who's gonna get cut tomorrow, or he could play.
I think
Because
I
like the
remember
whole
you
body
saying
language
that.
thing. I think I might have come on your show that night. I was like,
you've been a Quantrez
and
guy
that
for
too, but
the whole time.
dude, I got my jersey. I got a Stiggers jersey. I got a
That's
Stiggers story to tell
fantastic.
you, but I got both my jerseys are here for my girlfriend.
Did you get him signed?
But I will. He actually DM'd me on Instagram. Like I said, I'll get to the story later.
Awesome.
So I met his whole family today. It was sweet, and I had the jersey.
I think I saw the pictures.
So,
I do have a question. You guys were talking about. Oh, you guys were talking about body language, and I one thing I noticed, and I because of the television, I couldn't really keep up with it. But was Michael Clemens like kneeling after every play, like trying to catch his breath? Like was he blown up a lot?
He looked like one of the better players on the D line. He looked like one of the better players on the D line in terms of like disrupting. He's not a good pass rusher.
Well, I know he looks good like in the
rusher.
play. Okay.
Yeah,
just wanted to ask that you were there.
No, he didn't. I thought he played pretty well. I know one Robbie Sabo tweeted like, "Oh, we had penalties on the first drive or undisciplined." For the most part, everything like this was as smooth as it could go for a preseason game. Like at the last 2 minutes, they posted the injury report on the scoreboard, and it was just that guy from Army, that Italian guy, Jimmy something linebacker. I was like, all right, fine, he's the one lost body. We'll take it. For a preseason game. But I was just saying with the body language, that OTA thing with Stiggers, dude, he was dancing like an OTAs, like first weeks here with sauce and warm-ups, and I was like, yo, this guy is like really confident, or like and the guys were letting him do it. Like they were dancing with him. He got a deflection. They were all doing like his dance in the end zone, like with him, Sauce and everyone. And I was like, dude, if Sauce is doing a dance with this guy, first of all,
yeah,
like he could play. Athletes see other athletes and like, all right, bro, like
game respects
one of us. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
let me ask you one question. Where were you sitting in relation to that beautiful drop pass from Peasley to Brownlee? Like what was your view of that play?
Was it? Oh, that was probably in the third quarter, right?
No, this was early on.
But he said Peasley.
Yeah.
Oh, was Peasley in the second too?
It was that first touchdown. Remember where Brownlee's going towards the corner of the end zone? And it
was the first touchdown.
Yeah, it was the Jets' first touchdown of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, Brownlee when he caught the touchdown.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were referring to the drop. I was in that corner of the end zone. I was in that corner.
Oh, nice.
How beautiful did that look?
It was beautiful. I mean, it looked like you could see the 1-2. It was like his legs, he had long strides. You could see like both feet 1-2 and like perfect toe tap, just like on the replay. I was actually in like the back of the rows where they also had TVs like to the side, showing the CBS broadcast.
Oh, so you could actually watch it on TV and on the field.
I could just look up and a 3-second delay would be there, and I was like, Toes are in. Yeah, it looks like it. 3 seconds later, toes are in. Okay, confirmed. We'll celebrate with
Nice.
everyone else.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fun. But
I
I was
wish I
all
was
over the
there
stadium.
today.
You know, there's like a couple hundred people there. So second quarter, I went to these seats, and then the shade moved to like the lower areas, and I moved down a bit when a lot of people left at halftime, and whatnot. But real quick, this I was telling you the Stiggers story. So I brought my Stiggers jersey, even though I was wearing this one. I actually brought my girlfriend to like a smaller one. She has one too. I don't know. Maybe I'll see. Maybe we'll go down there. Whatever. Like I'll probably be the only guy with the Stiggers jersey. As I go on my tickets, to the left of me, other people are standing in, and I see a 37, and I'm like, "There's no other Jets 37 like that. Is that a
That's
Stiggers
it.
person?" And I see next to this 37, someone's wearing a shirt, Stiggers uncle. Next to that, Stiggers aunt,
Oh, you met the whole
Stiggers mom. Like
family, didn't you?
they're all wearing shirts labeling their relation to him. And I'm like, "Hey guys, nice shirts. Hey, look what I have." And as I go to pull it up, the mom is like, "No, you're not gonna do it." And then she's like, and she starts bawling out in tears and
Oh,
crying as I like break out her son's jersey.
Oh, that's
And like I
awesome.
took pictures with the whole family. She's like, "I need those pictures." She takes her phone. She texts Stiggers the pictures in the locker room from my phone.
Oh my God.
And he comes back and he's like, "Hey, da 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 da." And then she's texting herself, and we're like going back and forth. She's like, "Yeah, it's amazing." I told her I'd be at minicamp Tuesday. She's like, "Yeah, we got to get that signed for you." Da 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 da.
That's
Yeah, I
fucking
met his wife, all
sweet,
that
dude.
stuff, and it was like
Good for
that is
you.
cool.
That's fantastic. And I bet it made him feel good. Like
Yeah, it probably made him feel good. But
he's
that
like the
mom too, like she was
there's
in
a
tears. And I
fan
was
who
talking to her. Do you remember the story about her? How she signed him up for like she was the one getting him back into football because his dad
yeah.
died and he wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah.
DoorDash and like all that stuff. And she was like trying to get him back into football and see where he could get him, but you can't just like go for tryouts. And she signed him up for like fantasy football leagues, like on Yahoo Sports. Like she thought she was signing him up for real leagues, and he was
Yeah, I
like,
read
"No,
about
mom,
that.
this is fantasy football." And then he got started 2 years ago in the fan controlled league. And then, 2 years later, he's on the NFL sidelines and
It's awesome.
people got a jersey. So yeah, she had a whole moment of like, yeah,
I love
it
that
was
story.
This is a
That's a great
great
story.
story, dude. That's fantastic.
Not
Like,
only
yeah, it
the
was great.
story of how Stiggers got into the NFL finally, but the
you made
fact
his
that
mom's
they
whole
were at the
year,
game.
bro.
Yeah, you made her and her
Dude, she
family's
was in
day. Like
tears. Like
these.
I didn't realize how
Well, I hope you gave
emotional
her a
she'd be.
big
But
ass
then,
hug.
yeah, and then I was talking. We talked for like 10 minutes. We kind of walked towards the seats together, and like as I realized, I was like, "Oh yeah, you're the one in the story. Like you're the mom who's like kind of pushed him to get here because he's very open with his story. He was like, dude, I was depressed and 60 pounds overweight, eating donuts, and like I didn't give a shit about anything. And then I just kind of realized, or my friend told me like, yo, no one's gonna feel sorry for you, and got up off my ass. My mom told me to train, and like a couple years later, he's in the NFL.
It's
Um,
awesome.
I
Dude, what a
just,
great
yeah,
story. I
sweet.
feel like you need to clip
Uh,
this and make it a short for YouTube.
So I'm
yeah,
gonna
that
meet the guy on Tuesday, hopefully. Like he DM'd me, and because I sent him the picture, and he
Well,
DM'd me, and
shit, you got his
he was
cell
like,
number
I think
now.
he said, what did he say? He just said W's in the chat is what was his response. He said, "I
That's
need to
awesome,
sign
dude.
it." And I said, "So
That's so
awesome! I'll be
cool,
there.
man.
I'll be
Good
there for
for you.
practice.
What a
Be there for
great
practice
story. Like
Tuesday." Blah blah
seriously,
blah blah
man, this
blah.
is why football's awesome though. Like shit like that happen like whether you're a Jets fan, a Dolphins fan, whatever, it's just like you're like, God damn, dude, that just makes me smile, Like it just makes you happy to like see how the game influences people and brings people together. It's beautiful. And I'm gay for saying that.
nah, man,
Okay, for
it's
stickers,
completely
Maddie, it's
like
okay.
Gay for the
yeah,
stick.
it's a great story, and I'm almost guaranteeing that he makes
That's
the team.
awesome, Nate. Oh yeah. No, I
It's
have no
too
doubt
good of
he's
a
gonna make the
story.
team.
He's been balling out. He's been playing great, and that's going to be one of
Yeah.
the best stories of this season is watching him come in and out. And people are the Jets fans are blue collar, and they're going to get behind him. And
He's gonna be kind of like Wayne Corbett. He's gonna be one of those fan favorites that we all just love.
yeah,
He
oh,
has a shot. Like
absolutely,
he's gonna battle. If he's good, he's gonna battle for DJ Reed's because DJ Reed's probably not gonna be back next year. Like a
yeah.
30-year-old, soon to be 30-year-old corner, and he might be one of those guys with Eccles or an incoming free. Like there's
Certainly
an
possible.
opportunity there for him. Did you hear what Salah said about him this week when they brought him up in a press conference?
I feel like
I
I
did
did,
not.
but I've been drinking.
They asked him about Stiggers, and he said, "Oh, it's not a direct quote, but he said it's good that like we know we have an NFL corner. Now we just want to find out if he's a starting corner." And
I
everyone
think
was
I
like,
did
"Whoa!"
hear that. Yeah,
I
Salah's
was like,
giving him his
"Okay."
props, but
Like
the guy's earning it,
first
man. I
couple
mean,
weeks, But
That's
like you
really
just alluded
cool.
to, like probably going to make the roster. Like
Yeah.
if he's saying that about a 5th-round pick, like, yeah, we know we have an NFL corner. Now we have to see if it's a starting
That's
corner. All right, yeah,
huge, man. That
this
is
isn't
fucking
fucking
huge.
Chaz Surratt. Like he's on the team. He's talking
That's
about
fucking
starting NFL
sweet,
corner.
dude.
And yeah, I love the kid.
Damn.
Like, two years ago, he wasn't playing football. He didn't play college football. So it's like he's also just like being molded now and probably like learning the position
He's
on the
ready to.
fly
He's
as
gonna learn the
he
Jet
did
way,
last
dude.
year and the year before.
Love it, dude. What a
Uh,
great
I'm all
let me.
about
Let,
it. And because I have
we're,
two
we're
jerseys,
coming up.
I
Hold
hope he
on, we're
keeps the
coming up on
jersey.
our 2-hour thing. And before I let Nate go, the one thing I wanted to ask him as someone in the stadium is from home. Once again, you probably heard me earlier talk about the fact that this just seems like another way that the NFL can rig games and make things go the way they want them to go. But was there a feeling in the stadium or anything with them not using the chain gang anymore and doing that new like virtual line to gain thing?
No, not at all.
See,
But it's also
to me,
preseason, so nobody gave a shit. Like, okay, they pushed for a first down close to the goal line. I was like, okay, it's 1st and goal. Like it's the preseason. I don't. But
no,
but
correct.
in a
It's
regular season
preseason.
game,
That's
I would
fine.
probably be freaking
Yeah,
out. And I didn't watch on TV yet. So live, it was just the chains don't mean much to you live anyway because it's you're so far away with the naked eye and all that. Um, but can I make one more point before you leave? Because I actually
oh
called
yeah,
in for a reason that I haven't even mentioned yet.
yeah.
Your guys' age on your basketball takes are showing yourself, and I don't completely disagree with you, but to put sports in a time machine, we've all learned you can't do that. You can't compare skills of 30 years ago to now. And
No.
I agree that the 92 Dream Team was the best team in terms of like utter domination of who they played. Like they dominated more than this team dominated the Olympics, clearly. You know what I'm saying? Like according to their peers, of course, that Dream Team was pure utter dominance like of who they played. But that's like if the 92 Dream played teams 30 years before that, they'd be playing Bob Cousy, who couldn't put the ball behind his back in the 60s. And like people were impressed with George Mikan making lefty and righty layups. So to move basketball 30 years, like Steph Curry would be a witch and they would hang him in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like his
Yeah,
skill
but the
level is on a
difference
whole
is, but
nother
hold on.
level.
No, but hold on. There's a difference here. If you put like a good NFL team, just a good NFL team up against, let's say, the
NFL's
six.
different. NFL's different.
No, I agree. What I'm saying is, if you put a good NFL team, I think today against one of the best from the past, I think they could hang. Because the players today are bigger,
That's
stronger,
a sport
tougher. But
it's not skill.
yeah,
It's not skill.
but
It's
when
not
it
basketball
when
skill.
it comes to the NBA, when it comes to the NBA has gotten way weaker. The players have gotten less. I think they're not. I don't think they're as like talented as they were in the. I think the 80s and 90s peaked the NBA, in my opinion.
Wrong.
Just watching it today, I disagree. Dude, there's no defense is played now. I just got back into watching basketball, and I'm watching it going, what the hell is going on here?
Mike, so you're right. The 90s product was the best product. But to say he was more skilled is just like flat out wrong. Like Michael Doliak played in the 90s, obviously. Like everyone can shoot the three now at a ridiculous level. Everybody can finish with both hands. Everybody can. Their skill wise, it's not true, but I agree that defense is not allowed now, and that's why the NBA sucks. We just saw an Olympic gold game today with the best players in the world, the best offensive players on the world, playing against a bunch of French guys, and they scored 98 points. In the NBA, that team would have won by 50. It's because they don't let them play defense. Like Embiid, if you see his highlights in the Olympics now, he's flopping into guys, his hands are going up, and the refs are going, it's going this way. You know, the balls we're playing it live. They let the guys play defense. If there's a superstar that has a half a step on a guy in the NBA, if you try to get back in front and get your hips back in front and you touch him, beat, foul, call, whistle, 3 of those. Now you're on the bench, and it's different whistles for different guys. And the NBA is you've seen that over the last 20 years. But so they don't let them play defense. If they let them, like in Europe, if they let the European rules play those rules in the NBA right now, you would love the game. It would look like the Olympics, and games would be scored in the 80s and 90s. And I just saw Jokic and LeBron, like it was 90s basketball that you just referred to, battling in the paint. Like dudes were leaking from the eye, bleeding, hitting fadeaways, tough buckets from inside 18 feet. You know, like that game is still there. They're more skilled now. You just don't like the rules. And I agree with you. The rules are terrible. They have different rules for different people. They don't let them play defense. But to say they're not skilled now is crazy.
I'm not
There's
saying they're
so
not
much more
skilled. You obviously need skill to make a professional sport, but I think
No, but you
that
said they're
I
more skilled than
personally
the 90s.
think
Or you said 90s more skilled.
I think the 90s teams are more. I think the overall they're just. I just look. I also think it has to do with mental strength. I
That's
don't think the
crazy,
guys
bro.
today have the
Karl
mental
Malone,
strength.
Karl
I don't
Malone.
think. Hold on. I do not think that guys from today would be able to handle the trash talk and the physicality of a Charles Barkley or a Larry Bird or a Magic Johnson. I just don't think they would go, what the fuck is going on here? These guys are beating the shit out of me, both mentally and physically. And I just don't think that they would be able to handle it. Now, if they took some time and practiced and tried to play as the guys played back then, maybe they could. But if you just magically could take the Birds and the Johnsons and the Barkleys, those badass MFers, and put them in against the LeBrons and the Steph Currys and whatever, I think the LeBron, Steph Currys would just be, they would not know what to do with themselves with the way that those guys played the game. That's all I'm saying. I just think they were so much tougher, especially mentally.
It's the time machine argument. Yeah, you can't put either one in the time machine. You'd also have to make the rule argument. What rules are we playing under? But I could like Steph Curry would automatically be up 20 points. Like they wouldn't know how far they'd have to guard these guys now. The skill level is unbelievable. You just made an argument for trash talk. Great. Trash talk. Great.
And,
You think then edge for the
physicality.
and physicality. But again, that's to the rules. Because LeBron can play. We just saw it. I saw it in the Olympics. These guys can play physical. The rules dictate what they play now. You know what I'm saying? They don't no there's no rim protection at all. It's not the same. Oh, you come into our paint, you get 2 feet in our paint, you're flattened on your ass. Like that's the 90s basketball you love, right? These guys can handle that. They could totally adjust to that. Like LeBron James could
It would take
adjust
them
to
time
physical
to adjust
play.
to it. I think it would take them time.
All right,
And it would just
I'm
and it would
going to
take, it would
step in
take
here.
the 90s.
You guys, I think you guys are arguing kind of two different points, and I think you both make very good points. I think Nate makes a very good point about the way the game was called then versus the way the game is called now. And I think Nate makes very, very good points. I think Mike makes very good points.
No, I think he does also. I'm not saying he's making a
this
great argument.
This is a great conversation. I kind of would rather have this as a bye-week basketball talk. I think this would be a really fun thing to do during basketball season during the bye week or something. But he's right. Like the time machine is very different. In the 90s, dudes could fucking play. You could, you get in the paint, you're going to catch an elbow. The Jordan rules were a thing. Now, again, he's right. They're not allowed to play defense. So I think we need to just kind of call this a draw because we're coming up on 2 hours.
Well, no, I agree. I agree, Maddie. Listen, I completely agree. It's two.
No, I
different
know. There's no argument. No one's mad.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's wrong.
It's a really good argument.
I have an opinion and he has an opinion, and it's like, look, they're all extremely talented people, no matter how you look at it. Because I said earlier, it's like you make it to a professional sport at any level, no one can take that away from you. But it's just two different opinions. I'm not mad at it. I like when people
really enjoy. I just shut the fuck up and listened for the last 10 minutes because I was really enjoying the back and forth. Because again, you both make very good points. So I just, in the interest of the show, I'm thinking we should move on, talk a little more football.
No. And what I'll do is I want to hit this Jets chant real quick because we got a super chat in here. Jets. John Radcliffe coming in with another $2. Thank you so much, John. Somehow the Chiefs just got a self-imposed S on a KO. What does that mean? Am I missing something?
Safety on a kickoff.
I thought that game was over. I'm gonna have to. Well, if that's the case, I have to see that. Like the guy would have had to run out of the end zone, back into the end zone, and then someone would have had to be there to tackle him. I guess they're closer now. I was going to say they are closer. That's very interesting. Wow. But Nate, listen, thank you so much for coming in. And not only that, but once again, I hope you know that I completely respect your opinion and I love arguing. So this is the show to be if you want to argue.
I love arguing sports too. Trust me.
The sticker story was also
Gary
great.
does a talk show, and I'm on his show all the time. All he does is argue with me. We just disagree all the time.
Doesn't Gary argue with everybody though?
Yeah. But it's like we find arguments and arguments. I just won't give up, I guess. So it's just like a podcast that never
Again,
ends at times.
I feel like I was like the guy watching Jules and fucking Jimmy, Jules and Vincent Vega talk about foot massages. And I'm like, both
Look,
make
it
very
is
valid
what it
points.
is.
Both make very valid points.
Arguments got to happen. Yeah, Wild Wave.
No, that was
I completely agree, man. People can
Yeah,
have
that was
opinions.
fun, man. We really ought to do like maybe like once a month, pick like an off night, and just do like an other sport, like half hour.
Or just pick a
Matty, as you
night
know, I
and
can't
do
talk
like
hockey.
pick a night and do a contentious topic, and people call in one side or the other, and I'll just go back and forth. So first I'll bring in someone from one side, then I'll bring in someone.
All you gotta do is just start watching hockey this year, and then you can just.
No, that's not happening. But I was just saying, I love basketball like to the core. I'm a bigger basketball fan than anything else. My dad is a basketball coach, player, like his whole life. I grew up in basketball.
Have you read the book Blood in the Garden
my shit.
by Chris Herring?
Yes.
So good.
It's on my dad's bookshelf.
I have a signed copy of it. I love that book.
By the way, Nate, you got the W from Three Siblings.
Yeah, the chat loves you, Nate. They're
man,
rewarding you.
I was going to call in until you guys made those ridiculous basketball points, and then I had to click the link.
You made some good points though. Like I say, I felt like fucking again another Quentin Tarantino reference at the table. He's convinced me. Give me my $1 back.
Hey, look, all I'm saying is you better be thankful that there's no time machine, because I would bring that dream team back and I'd watch him just decimate this current dream team.
About how would the game be
bring your
or
refs.
any fucking team in the NBA for that
Bring your
matter.
refs with them. Bring your refs with the team. Make sure you bring your refs.
Like I said,
I'll say this one thing. You know what the difference will be? You know what the difference will be? And I was saying this in Gary's podcast before the Olympics. Steph Curry, this is Steph Curry's first Olympics. Steph Curry is an alien in the sport of basketball. When I thought like Steph Curry was coming along, I thought there would be more Steph Curry people who would, kids that would train to shoot whatever. It's not happening. Like he is one of one, and no one in the world can play like him. And he, whether physical or not, he can play in any generation. That was kind of just proven in the Olympics, and it's very like physical. Because if he has this much space, like the game-winning shot he took for the Olympics, there was Wembanyama, another guy closing on him. Kevin Durant was wide open, and he took the shot. He made the last 4 threes to end it. He won the last 2 games. Like he is the difference maker in the world, in the whole sport. Like, and it's just that's why I always make the reference. Like if he was in the 60s or 70s, he'd be a witch, and they would hang him. There'd be a whole trial because it's like it's not real what he would do, and like that would be the difference when they played the '92 Dream Team. There's just no one on that team has ever had to walk into a gym and guard a guy for 180 feet everywhere like a fucking marathon. And then on top of that, he still makes 5 threes in front of your face and you slouch back on defense. It's got to be the most defeating feeling. Steph Curry would be the difference, in my opinion.
This conversation is going to haunt me for like the next 3 days because I'm going to be going over this. Like, because I'm a hoops guy too. And I'm like literally like all of this is like, I promise you I'm going to be looking up basketball podcasts to think about. Like, I got to go. Fuck.
All right, Nate, thank you so much for
Nate,
calling
you're the man, dude. Thank you, brother.
Appreciate it,
Love
guys.
you, bud. Thank you.
Thank you, Nate. Seriously,
do, right?
I know. I
wrap it up box of podcasts.
I wouldn't bullshit. I let people come on for a lot longer than
I know.
a lot
But
of other
when they're
shows.
about to say goodbye, you're like, nah,
I know. There's got to be a way.
I know you don't mean to. By the way, I know you don't mean to. It's just funny.
We love Nate.
It's just Nate's one of our faves, dude. But man, that was a great conversation.
Yeah, 3 siblings come in and says, let's talk about Barry Bonds Hall of Fame. We're going to have to do that on another show, but I am not for Barry Bonds being in the Hall of Fame. And it's only because he was clearly juiced up. It's very obvious. So was Mark McGuire. So was a lot of those guys from that era. Yeah. And you can't put him in the Hall of Fame and then tell everyone now you can't juice. Either let them juice and then put Barry and him in the Hall of Fame, or you can't put them in. Because you can't expect people to break records from guys who are using steroids to bulk themselves up for more. You can't expect it.
Another show.
Yep, that's another show.
Go down this road right now.
Nate's going to call right back in and be like, Barry Bonds deserves to be. You're playing Time Machine now. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Like I said, I'm gonna probably watch this again later because, like, goddamn, dude.
That's okay. I got the big fella on my side. So thank you, big fella.
I very seldom get any good hoops talk because in Denver, it's like Denver sports is only Denver sports. So if I want to talk basketball with anybody, like nobody, Jesus fuck. Like nobody will talk any other team but the Nuggets. So like when I get shit like this, I'm like, fuck yeah, dude, that's cool. Like so yeah, I'm it's like that scene where you see all the like equations floating around the guy's head. That's where I'm at right now.
Look, Nate, maybe we could do it another time, but it's going to be a hard thing to convince me that letting someone put something in their bodies that's not natural, and they sit there and break records. Barry Bonds does not hold the home run record to me. Hank Aaron holds the home run record. Other than that, it would be Babe Ruth. And as a matter of fact, I think Babe Ruth was a better home run hitter than Hank Aaron. There's a hot take, and it may not even be a hot take, but Ruth
Ty
had
Cobb's
like,
the greatest baseball player of all time, and I don't care.
well, that you could call that in an overall, but I'm saying the greatest home run hitter of all time, in my opinion, is Babe Ruth. He had over 1,000 less at bats than Hank Aaron, and he was wasted drunk most of the time. So I know, and imagine
I'm like the greatest YouTube host out there.
But once again,
I'm like the greatest guy on YouTube.
You got to go by stats alone, and I'm not going to go by juiced up, big headed Barry Bonds. Hank Aaron is the home run leader, and that's that. So anyway, all right, Maddie, what do you got to say on your way out? And that's about it for tonight.
Not much, man. I had a good time tonight. I'm just glad baseball. Fucking looking at. God damn, I gotta stop drinking.
Football.
I'm just glad football's back. Hey, fuck you, Dan. Murph's calling me out over here. No, great show tonight, guys. Like that's why I do this. I love bullshitting with you guys, having a good time with you guys. Murph, Nate, you guys are two of my favorites to bullshit with. I love all you guys in the chat. Having a great time tonight. Tomorrow I got so much shit to do, and now I feel like I gotta go find a new basketball book to read because I'm all geeked up on the topic. But other than that, boys and girls, you know where to find me on Twitter. And I'm on Instagram too, which I don't do much with, but it's there. And that said, everybody have a great night. Everybody Wang Chung tonight. We will see you Tuesday night. And I think Tuesday we have to cut, 5 people off the roster? Is that correct?
Yeah, there's going to be some cuts. We'll see.
We'll definitely talk about some cuts. But again, happy with the game today. Happy with my drinks tonight. USA.
All right. Have a good one, Maddie. All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, before you head out, I want you guys to go over after I come off or now, whatever, you can leave me, and check out my video from today where I just bitched about NFL blackout restrictions. And even if you don't want to sit and watch, it's only 6 minutes, and it's on this channel. It's only 6 minutes, and you get to see a legitimate Midnight Mike freak out. But go over there and hit that like button. Hit the like button here. Go over there, click on the video, watch it a little bit, and give me a like on that video too. And if you can, tell me what you think in the comments of that video. Tell me what you think of this bullshit that I've had to go through living on the Long Island Sound, but on the Connecticut side. Not in the New York market. No, I'm not. So I don't get CBS run New York Jets games. Today, it was infomercials on CBS out of Hartford. So therefore, I should be able to get the out-of-market game for NFL Plus, Paramount Plus, and NFL Sunday, any of that stuff. And I didn't. And I was pissed off earlier. And you will see that. I recorded right after I figured out I really wasn't getting the game. And by the way, I was on Green Bean Show. Check out the first quarter of Green Bean's live broadcast where both me and Green Bean, the first quarter of this game, we're trying to both figure out how we can watch the damn game. We were just getting so frustrated, and it was funny. I eventually had to bow out. I said, Green Bean, I'm not going to be any help. And it is what it is. I ended up watching the game on replay, and I had a great time. But guys, thank you so much for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. Like I said, hit the thumbs up on this video. When it's over, go over and comment and hit the thumbs up on my video that I put out earlier today. It's only 6 minutes out of your day. I really do appreciate it. And if you have the time when this video goes into replay, please go over and write Midnight Mike, anything in the comments section, because all these hundreds of comments mean nothing once it goes over to not live and on the replay. So I'd really appreciate that, folks. You guys blew my mind tonight, especially John. Stack gifted a membership, but John was the super chat king tonight. Just like I think Scott and Dano were the super chat kings like last week or the week before. John, you took the crown tonight. and I really do appreciate that. Guys, this is the show for blue-collar Jets fans that bleed fucking green. Love the New York Jets. And I am your late-night New York Jets host, Midnight Mike, and I can't wait to see you next time.